Initial planning and site work to concrete and final touches. We handle the entire process with a decade of quality in the Sheridan area that speaks for itself.
When only the best will do, call North Country Construction 307-461-2896.
307-461-2896.
I'm Doug Hockett with Stiefel Investments, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Good evening, basketball fans. Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. We're happy to bring you another version of Lady Bronc basketball on Sheridan Media Sports. If you're listening on the radio, you can listen to 1410 KWIO or go over to the FM side and tune it to 106.9. This is a home game, so a reminder for those of you listening on the radio, you can also watch the video, so you can get the video and audio through SheridanMedia.com, the Facebook page of Sheridan Media, and the YouTube page for Sheridan Media. So if you're sitting at home listening to the radio, you forgot this one was going to be videoed, go ahead and tune in there, and you can watch and listen to your Lady Broncs and Broncs tonight as they take on Natrona County. Lady Broncs played in Casper this past weekend. They went 2-1, played very well against Douglas, beating them by 17. They blew out Riverton. And then they had a hard-fought match in their last game on Saturday down in Casper against a Colorado school. It was Arvada West, a talented Arvada West team. Lady Broncs turned it over too many times and eventually lost by 8, so they went 2-1 on their opening weekend. Natrona County, the Phillies, they were down in Casper as well at the same tournament, as you might suspect. They didn't have to travel anywhere. They played Arvada West and got blown out by 32. They played Warland. They lost by 12. They played Douglas, lost 36-59, and they played Cody and lost 37-75. So 4 games for Natrona last weekend. None of them were really all that close, and the Phillies are at 0-4. It's a Phillies team that is shorthanded this week, as we were talking to the coaching staff and some parents from Natrona. They're missing 3 girls. The primary one, the main scorer, Ella K. Sheets, is out. She is not playing. They're out with injuries. So a shorthanded Natrona team this evening taking on a Sheridan Lady Bronc team that is ranked number 1 in the state, a team that won the state championship 2 years ago, lost in the state championship last year, and they're looking to get back to that Saturday game in the event center at the 4A level this year. And the media seems to think that Sheridan has as good of a shot as anybody, as they are number 1 through the first 2 weeks of rankings in the polls. Cheyenne East on the girls' side sits at number 2. We are a little bit behind as the JV game ran along, so keep in mind that means the boys' game will likely also start a little late. Imagine probably 7:15 or 7:20, depending on how this one goes. And speaking of how this one goes, we do expect Sheridan to handle Natrona. Now, Natrona's a team that always plays hard, but Sheridan's had the talent advantage the last several years, and we don't expect this one to be exceptionally close unless the Lady Broncs turn it over like crazy, and that's the one negative we have on the Lady Broncs from the opening weekend. Now, keep in mind, we'll preface what we're going to say with the fact that Ella Blue did not play this past weekend, and when you're missing your starting point guard, you get kids playing in a position they typically don't play in, or the ball's in their hands more often, or in situations they're not used to, like against man-to-man pressure or against a zone press. And Lady Broncs just turned it over way too often. We believe that'll be corrected with Ella Blue recovering from that turned ankle, and she's ready to go tonight. But yeah, the Lady Broncs, they had 19 turnovers against Douglas. They had 28 turnovers against Riverton and 27 against Arvada West. And Arvada West, like I said, was a good team. The Lady Broncs actually had a lead in that game, a very athletic Arvada team. And the Lady Broncs were hanging right with them, and then they just could not take care of the ball come the third quarter of that game, and way too many turnovers. Lady Broncs even had trouble getting the ball in bounds a number of times in that one, and eventually Lady Broncs just couldn't stick with Arvada because of the turnovers. Arvada only had 8 turnovers in that game, so if you look at the scorebook and you look at nothing else, pretty sure the Lady Broncs would lose that game. 27-8 was the turnover margin, but I'm sure that's something Coach Wagner has talked to the girls about this week of practice. And again, it helps having Ella Blue back. She was an all-stater last year, runs the point, and it's just such a big deal to have your point guard. Everybody can get kind of in their normal positions, in their normal roles, and feel more comfortable with the basketball, and should be a good one here tonight against Natrona. The boys game, like I said, they'll take on Natrona. That one should be a very competitive game. Natrona always plays hard. They've got a ton of juniors with experience, and they're a physical team. We expect that one should be tight at least through three quarters if everything goes to plan. And Natrona's 3-1. Sheridan is 2-1. Sheridan boys also beat Douglas and Riverton and then lost to Arvada West. So basically mirroring what the girls did down in Casper. First home game of the season for the Lady Broncs. The SHS Pep Band is in attendance. They are on the east side of the floor. This Sheridan Bronc court runs west to east. The SHS Band is in the east zone, and the Lady Broncs are going to start with the basketball going to the east. That'll be left to right across your radio dial. Lady Broncs are in their home whites tonight with blue trim. The Phillies from Natrona County are in their black uniforms with white numbers and orange trim and lettering. So it's Sheridan versus Natrona. This used to be, for a long, long time, a conference matchup, but when Cody dropped down to 3A due to enrollment numbers a year ago, Natrona went over to the west side of the conference. So Natrona and Kelly Walsh now are both on the west side, so a non-conference opponent for the Lady Broncs here tonight. They'll get into conference games middle of January. There's a lot going on in the county this weekend if you like basketball. Obviously, Broncs and Lady Broncs host tonight. They go on the road tomorrow. They'll head down to Casper and play Kelly Walsh. But we also have Tongue River in attendance. They are playing Wyoming Indian tonight, both the boys and the girls. The Tongue River girls are ranked number 1 in the state. The Tongue River boys take on the number 1 ranked team in 2A, and that is Wyoming Indian. That game about 7:30 tonight out there in Tongue River. And then Friday, the Eagles will play Grable and Big Piney, and on Saturday, the Eagles will take on Wind River. As for Bighorn, Bighorn has the number 2 girls team in the state as per the YO Preps ranking, and the girls lost to Buffalo on Tuesday. They lost 42-58 in an interconference or an interdivision matchup. Buffalo's in 3A, Bighorn's in 2A. The girls tonight are taking on the Bighorn girls are taking on Big Piney. That game set to tip at 6 o'clock. And the boys for Bighorn, the Rams, they lost to Buffalo on Tuesday as well. They lost by 23, and they play Big Piney tonight about 7:30. And the boys, the Bighorn Rams, are ranked 5th in 2A. On Friday, Bighorn will play Wind River and Wyoming Indian. On Saturday, they take on Grable. So a lot of action going on between these 3 days here in Sheridan County. Basketball season just getting started. Everybody's trying to figure out what they're going to be come conference season, and we're excited for it. Lady Broncs 2-1, taking on the 0-4 Natrona Phillies. Later, it'll be the Sheridan Broncs at 2-1, taking on the 3-1 Natrona Mustangs. We want to thank our sponsors that allow us to video the home games and broadcast all the away games on the radio. It just wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, so we're very happy for the sponsors. If you flip over, if you're watching on the live stream on SheridanMedia.com, a lot of those sponsors' logos are flipping through there. Be sure if you're in one of those businesses, you say thank you. So it's a really great thing. The video is awesome. Coleman Hanchett is manning the video camera tonight. They do just a really good job. I'm sure a lot of you who are listening tonight have watched the football games. It's a great setup for a town our size. It's awesome. So really happy that we get video once again for all the home games this year. And Lady Broncs are just shooting around on the floor. Natrona County doing the same, getting their final shots in. We will come back with starting lineups and the opening tip after the national anthem. You are listening to Lady Bronc Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
One Health in Sheridan provides medical care, mental health, and other support services for the whole family. Our whole person approach serves children, adults, and seniors, and we accept patients with private insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, and no insurance. From childhood immunizations and wellness checks to substance use treatment, visit One Health for same-day availability and an income-based sliding fee. Visit onechc.org/Sheridan for more information.
In a place where honesty and hard work define us, there's a bank that's fully invested in Wyoming. The banks of Buffalo, Gillette, and Sheridan. We understand that business owners are the backbone of our communities. And whether you run a ranch, a restaurant, or a retail store, we're here to support you with a range of account options and personalized services without all the unexpected fees. Because when your business succeeds, our communities thrive. Visit buffalofed.bank for all your business banking needs. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and Sheridan pride. Your Broncs and Lady Broncs are back on the court. 7P Builders is proud to back the team that plays with heart, hustle, and true Wyoming grit. And off the court, when it comes to your home, 7P Builders specializes in sidings, decks, and roofs, plus new builds and remodels. Craftsmanship that stands strong season after season. Call 307-763-3202 to set up your appointment. From the sidelines to your neighborhood, 7P Builders says, go Broncs and Lady Broncs.
Hi, Mom. I brought dinner.
Oh, please, please tell me it's one of those big, horny casseroles. Nothing tastes as good as Big Hornies.
Yes, Mom. I brought 2. And remember, it's the Big Horn Y. It's not all one word.
I don't care what they call themselves. Just keep bringing their food.
Unforgettable food. Unfortunate Facebook address. Call ahead for made to order or pick up in the store. Find us on Facebook at, Big Horn Y.
It's that time of year when we all reflect on our good fortune and good friends. And the folks at Farmers Co-op of Sheridan wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. They want to take this time to thank you, their valued customer, for all your continued patronage and friendship. May you and your family find health, happiness, and prosperity now and throughout the year to come. Farmers Co-op, owned by those they serve at 1450 Coffeen Avenue in Sheridan.
Planning a project that requires block, brick, or stone? You need to contact the folks at Thompson Master Masons. They have the largest selection of brick and stone in town and 39 years of experience behind their work. Chances are, if it can be done, they've done it. Let Thompson's help you choose the best application for your specific project, residential or commercial. Give Thompson Master Masons a call at 672-7971 or stop by their showroom at 135 East 11th Street.
Chapman, Valdez, and Lansing, with offices in Sheridan and Casper, are ready to protect the freedoms and rights of the citizens of Wyoming. The Sheridan office of Michael Lansing and Nicole Soto provide competent local legal services focused on businesses, real estate transactions, estate planning, employee protections, trust litigation, and personal injury. Michael and Nicole will aggressively, timely, and ethically protect your rights and are proud to support all local youth activities.
This year, First Northern Bank of Wyoming is celebrating an incredible milestone, 140 years of serving our Wyoming communities. For generations, we've been here through every season of life, helping families, ranchers, and businesses thrive. From local lending to personalized service, we're proud to be your community bank and trusted partner. Whether you're starting your first loan or account, growing your business, or buying your dream home, we're here for you. First Northern Bank of Wyoming, proudly serving Wyoming communities for 140 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 402576.
This is Kent Sherwood with Sheridan Physical Therapy, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. National anthem is over. Starting lineups for Natrona have been announced. It's Raina Reese wearing number 2, Josh Behrens wearing number 10, Elena Dutcher, sophomore, wearing number 20, Ava Calling wearing number 22, Carly Dinkle wearing number 30. Dutcher averages 6 points a game. Dinkle averages 6.3 points per game. Barron's the leading scorer at 8 points a game and 6.8 rebounds a game. For your Lady Broncs, it is Parker Tridy, Ella Blue, Maggie Brogdon, Cam Wagner, and Mesa Hanift on the floor for the Lady Broncs. Tridy, Blue, Brogdon, Wagner, and Hanift. Hanift 16.5 points a game, 8.5 rebounds a game. Cam Wagner, 6.5 rebounds a game. I mentioned it down there in Casper on Saturday. What a great job she did on the boards, and the statistics prove that out. Hanift wins the tip, but we have a whistle from head official Greg Carroll as he says reset the clock. It was a bad toss, so we're going to redo the opening tip. There it goes, and this time Natrona wins it. It's Dinkle. Dinkle passes off to Reese, and Reese can't handle it, runs it down in the full court. Parker Tridy comes out, mans her up man-to-man at half court. Reese with the pass over to Dinkle, left wing, Brogdon all over her. Right-hand dribble around to the top of the key. Dinkle put the ball above her head, passes off to Calling. Calling, right-hand dribble, guarded by Brogdon. Right-hand dribble, still looking down low. They go to the low post, Dutcher. Dutcher, the sophomore, working against the junior Hannah, fires a shot off the glass, no good. Rebound hauled in by Reese, and we have a jump ball Lady Bronx did a good job rebounding in the first weekend. Their rebounding margin is about 12.5 through the first 3 games, which is really, really good. They give up a quick offensive rebound, but the jump ball, the possession arrow, goes to Sheridan. So Ella Blue starts the offense for the first time for the Lady Bronx. She dribbles up the floor to the right side, to the right wing, and gives off to Haniff. Haniff darts to the low block, little bounce pass to a cutting, try to kick it out Blue. She'll fire her first shot of the year. Up, no good. It's a 3, does not go. Haniff, offensive board, fires a shot, she's fouled. Haniff to the line to shoot 2. Haniff, to 5'11" junior. 4A Player of the Year last year. All-Stater as a freshman. 76% free throw shooter early in the season. Shot up and no good. Haniff misses that one. 14 of 24 now on the season for the junior post. Haniff's second one's up, no good. Rebound hauled in by Natrona. Reese finally corrals it. A couple girls on the floor. And Reese grabs it. Reese picks up her dribble in the full court, kicks it up to Dutcher. Dutcher near half court. Double team comes, and Ella Blue ties it up along with Mesa Haniff. Blue gets the jump ball. It stays Philly possession. 0-0. Mesa Haniff's trying to inbound the ball, and I thought they called a jump ball. The last jump ball went to Natrona, and their officials get it right here. Good job by referee Alden. He got it. The first jump ball was awarded to Sheridan, so obviously the second jump ball should be awarded to Natrona. The referees do get it right. Good job by the crew. Dinkle to Reese. Reese starts the offense. One dribble, Tridy all over her. Makes her pick up her dribble. Ball's on the floor. Natrona comes away with it. It's back to Reese, top of the key, and she double dribbled up near her shoulder. Just a little unsteady, and that's what ball pressure does for you. Lady Bronx defense. You've just got to be strong handling the basketball. Blue across half court. Blue puts a move on Reese, gets to 10 feet out. A little step through, fires a shot and good. Ella Blue has her first points of the season. She averaged 9 points last year, and Haniff steals the ball in the full court pressure. Haniff, right-hand dribble, low block, good pass off to Brogdon. Lay it up and no good. Haniff, offensive board, shot up, and ball goes blocked out of bounds by Calling. Sheridan keeps possession along the baseline. Another rebound for Haniff. 2 in the early going for Mesa. Tridy inbounding along the baseline. Little bounce pass to a cutting Brogdon. In the paint, ball's poked away by Dinkle. Blue comes up with it, dribbles out to the three-point line, gets a step on Dinkle. Left hand. Oh, she didn't lay it up. I thought she was going to lay it up. Made a nice pass to Wagner, who kicks it out to Brogdon. She fires a shot. That's no good. Rebound fought for and won by Haniff. Haniff goes up for the shot. Up and good. Mesa Haniff gets her first points. A good hustle play after a third offensive rebound already in the game. It's 4-0. Bronx lead by 4. 6:08 on the range scoreboard. Up the right sideline, Natrona goes. It's Calling. Calling loses it. Blue poked it away. Haniff runs it down. Gets it to Blue. Blue 2-on-1. Nice little bounce pass to Wagner, who runs the floor. The senior lays it up and in. Blocking foul against Dinkle. Wagner goes to the line to shoot a free throw as we can count the basket. We'll make it official as official Tim Daniels walks over to the scorer's table. He says, bucket's good. And they haven't put the score. There it is. Now the score's up. 6-0. Make it 7-0 as Cam Wagner hit that. And she should not be awarded another. Actually, now they're discussing it. It should be 7-0. Count the basket. There we go. That's early in the season for the officials too, right? Yeah. They counted the basket. The whistle came after the ball went through. So Cam, they're talking about if she should have a second free throw. They're actually, okay, so they're going to say the basket was no good. Okay, so it was not an and one. Okay, after they meet, it was not an and one. So it's 5 for Sheridan. Make it 6 as Cam hits both free throws. 2 for 2 on that trip. 6-0. Lady Bronx lead. Up the sideline goes Coleman. Coleman looking down for Reese. Reese fires a shot. She's fouled hard by Wagner. And Natrona will have their first opportunity to score here as they've turned it over on their possessions. Reese is at the line. She wears number 2. Early in the season, just 2.5 points a game. At the line. Free throw up, and it does not go. 6-0 on the range scoreboard, 5:50 to go. Aaron Newton into the game, so it's Newton, Brogdon, Tridy, Wagner, and Blue on the floor for the Lady Bronx as Haniff gets a rest on the bench. Reese's second free throw up, and it does not go. Misses hard off the glass. Offensive rebound, though. Barron's got it, put it up and in. Joss Barron's the junior. Her first points of the game and the Phillies' first points of the game. Blue splits a double team, gets across half court, gets into the paint, right-hand layup up off the glass, no good, missed it off the iron. Rebound hauled in by Dutcher. Dutcher gets it off to Calling, up the sideline to Behrens. Behrens, ball over her head on the right sideline, kicks it up to Reese. Reese, couple dribbles, Blue bumps into her, she falls down. Ball's finally taken away by Cam Wagner as Reese just threw the ball up in the air. Wagner, right-hand dribble, goes into the paint, kicks it out to Brogdon. She'll fire a three right side, that's no good, missed everything, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's Natrona basketball. Brogdon hit a couple threes down in Casper. She's 2 of 8 on the season, and we see a couple more substitutions for the Lady Broncs. Mowry, that's Hannah Mowry, a junior, and senior Ruby Reimers into the game. Reimers, Tridy, Newton, Blue, and Mowry on the floor. A small lineup for the Lady Broncs. Newton, the tallest player on the floor right now. She stands about 5'7". Reese, this is the other Reese. This is Ella Reese. She breaks pressure, gets it off to Calling. She'll fire a three, top of the key, and she hits it. Ava Calling with a three, and it's 6-5. Bronx lead by 1. Pass goes to Newton, back to Blue. Blue working against Coleman. Pass up the right side, or left sideline rather, to Mowry. Now to Newton. Newton, top of the key, looking down low for Reimers, threw it away. Aaron Newton with a turnover. The junior's a good defender, does a good job on the boards. Struggled there down in Casper with a lot of turnovers, almost 5 a game down in Casper. But it's early in the season, first 3 games of the year. Coleman throws it away. Ball's on the floor. It's run down by Newton. Newton gets it off to Blue, and Blue pushes it up to Tridy. Tridy steps into a three, right wing, no good. Rebound hauled in by Reese. This is Ella Reese again, senior. Where's number 1? Raina, the Reese that started. Blue with a steal. Fires up a left-hand layup. It's blocked by Reese. Coleman runs it down. Coleman to Dutcher. Dutcher quickly up to Behrens. Behrens right side to Dinkle. Dinkle, a nice little bounce pass to the cutting Reese, up and in. Ella Reese with a basket, and Natrona has their first lead in the game, 7-6. Hanift runs over the scorer's table. She'll check in at the next dead ball. Lady Broncs break pressure. They get into the half court. It's Tridy, left wing, work into the paint. Kicks it off to Mowry. She'll fire an 18-footer. That's no good off the glass. Rebound by Dinkle. Dinkle off to Reese. This is Ella Reese. Now to Coleman. Coleman wears number 15. She came off the bench for Natrona. Has been on the floor the last 2 minutes. 3:56 to go on the Range scoreboard. Oh, good position down low by Dutcher. Lay it up and in. Good find by Dinkle. And the Lady Broncs trail by 3. Well, some momentum, a 9-0 run for Natrona. Lady Broncs went on a 6-0 run to start the game. Natrona's had 9 straight. 3:40 to go on the Range scoreboard. Lady Broncs methodically slow it down. They get it off to Tridy. She's near the volleyball line, 30 feet from the hoop. Tridy, crossover dribble, working against Dinkle. Spin move in the paint. Kick it out Blue. Open 3, right corner. That does not go. Long rebound hauled in by Coleman. Coleman was falling out of bounds. Saves it to Newton, and Newton threw it away. Reese stole it. Kick it up to Behrens. Behrens lay it up. She's fouled by Tridy, and Josh Behrens goes to the line to shoot free throws. Well, a couple turnovers by the Lady Broncs here have stalled their offense. Just must take care of the basketball. Like I said, it's the one negative that I would take from the weekend down in Casper. Last season, just for reference, Lady Broncs turned it over about 16 times a game, which compared to the state was pretty good. Pretty average around the state for 4A girls. Behrens hits the first free throw, and we've got substitutions all around. We'll get the Lady Broncs set. It's Hanift, Wagner, Tridy, Mowry, and for the first time, Kinley Ruby into the game. And we have a timeout I believe. Well, they don't signal who it's by, but I think head coach Chris Wagner wanted a timeout, so we'll take one with him. Lady Broncs trail by 4, 10-6. 3:16 in the first quarter. You're listening to Lady Bronc Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
When the Sheridan Broncs and Lady Broncs hit the court, they play with focus, finesse, and unstoppable momentum. At Simply Stone, that same level of precision goes into every countertop they create. From quartz and marble to granite and porcelain, their team crafts and installs services with the kind of accuracy and consistency you'd expect from a championship-level program. Just like the Broncs and Lady Broncs, they believe in skill, teamwork, and a flawless finish. Visit their showroom at 2745 Heartland Drive or online at simplystonewyo.com. Simply Stone, simply the best.
This is Dr. Michelle Meehan, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School on a Thursday evening, I'm Aaron Lagaki. Lady Broncs trail by 4. They opened up the scoring early. They went up 6-0. They've given up a 10-0 run to Natrona since, and Natrona's at the line out of the timeout. It's Josh Behrens shooting free throws. coming into this game. She's 7 of 15 on the season, so just below 50%. But hit her first free throw. Second one on the way, and it is also good. So Barron's with 4 points, and Raina Reese checks in for Barron's. So Reese was a starter. There's 2 Reeses on the floor now, Raina and Ella. Ella wears 1, Raina wears 2. Pressure from Natrona. They get it to Hannah Mowry, the junior. Now to Tridy. Tridy crosses half court, working left. Tridy, left-hand dribble, picks it up. Hanift cuts, nothing there. They go to Kinley Ruby, now over to Wagner. Wagner's in the left corner. Wagner tries to drive baseline, spin on Reese, fire a little shot in paint. Good shot. Little turnaround jumper from Cam Wagner, and she has 4 points in the game. She has a couple free throws and her first basket right there. 11-8, Lady Bronx trail by 3. Quickly, Natrona goes. Dinkle to the corner, right side, bang, she hits a 3. Carly Dinkle shoots a lot of threes. Attempted 25 in the first weekend. Hits that one there, and it's 8-14. Lady Bronx quickly the other way to Haniff in the paint. Fire a shot. Foul on the arm by Raina Reese. Sends Haniff to the line for her second trip. 0 for 2 this game. Lady Bronx, all the statistics are going to change quite a bit, right? 3 games is not a big sample size. But Lady Bronx, one of the things they did do well down in Casper was shoot free throws. They shot 75%, which is excellent for a high school team. And Haniff hits that one there, and the Lady Bronx now are 3 for 5 tonight at 60%. We're still in the first quarter. Lady Bronx trail by 5. Second free throw from Haniff is up, and it bounces off the front iron, falls in. 4 points for Haniff. 2 of 2 on that trip, and it's 14-10, and we've got subs at the scorer's table. Maggie Brogdon in for Hannah Mowry, Ella Blue in for Parker Tridy. Set the floor for you. The junior Kinley Ruby, the senior Ella Blue, senior Cam Wagner, junior Mesa Hanift, and the sophomore Maggie Brogdon on the floor for the Lady Bronx. 2:35 to go, first quarter. Natrona breaks pressure. It's Ella Reese up the sideline, tries to find Dinkle and threw it out of bounds. Dinkle couldn't handle it. Turnover by Natrona. Lady Bronx possession, down 4. Zone press from the Phillies. Blue with it. Long pass up to Kinley Ruby. Left sideline. She can't handle it. It was a good pass. She couldn't handle it. Dinkle comes up with the steal. Now she throws it away. Ball's on the floor. Reese runs it down. This is Raina. Raina looking for 14 Barthel. Reagan Barthel couldn't handle that. Out of bounds. Turnover Natrona. So Sheridan gets the ball back. Fortunate. Actually, they're going to say, oh, yeah, no, okay. Natrona ran over to inbound it. I said, oh, I was going to say they missed that one. It definitely went off of Barthel. It wasn't even close. There wasn't a Sheridan. They get it right. Ruby inbounding. Gets it off to Brogdon. Brogdon. Nice little handoff to Haniff. Haniff fires a 3. Doesn't get that one to go. Air ball and ball out of bounds on the baseline. Back to Natrona basketball. Haniff hit a couple threes down in Casper. 2 of 6, now 2 of 7 on the season. Reese collects the inbound. Full court pressure from the Lady Bronx. Brogdon's the one applying it. Pass off to Ella Reese. Ella kicks it off to Barthel. Barthel tries to drive on Haniff. Wagner steps in. Now pass goes out to Raina Reese. She'll fire a 3. That does not go. Another offensive rebound for calling. And we have a foul against Sheridan. Reach in against Cam Wagner. Her first foul in the ball game. Rather, second foul. Second foul against Cam, and that means Aaron Newton's going to check into the game and avoid foul trouble for Cam Wagner here in the first quarter. 10-14, Bronx trail by 4. Ruby, Newton, Brogdon, Blue, and Haniff on the floor for the Lady Bronx. Inbound pass goes to Reese. This is Raina. Raina, right-hand dribble, working against Brogdon. Kick it off Barons. She'll fire a 3. Missed everything. Ruby pulls down the rebound for the Lady Bronx. Ruby up to Brogdon. Brogdon runs up the right sideline. Lady Bronx working left to right. Brogdon around the back dribble, gets to the free throw line. Kick it out Blue. Blue fakes a 3, steps through her man, fires a shot, does not go. She came up short. Raina Reese pulls down the rebound. Raina hounded by Blue, and we have a foul on Blue. Blue got a lot of the right arm of Reese. So Blue picks up her first foul. And Parker Tridy runs over to the scorer's table, comes in for the junior Kinley Ruby, who had a nice weekend off the bench for the Lady Bronx down in Casper. 4.5 points a game. She'll take a seat on the bench. Blue, Brogdon, Newton, Haniff, and Tridy on the floor. That's the starters for the Lady Bronx. I take that back, actually. Cam Wagner is on the bench, so Aaron Newton in place of her. Natrona in the half court, looking inside. Haniff stole it. It was a bad pass. They were looking for Barons. Ella Reese was, and Haniff stole it. Quickly up the floor, gets it to Tridy. Tridy back up dribble to the perimeter. She'll fire a right side 3. That does not go. Missed everything. Another air ball. Boy, Lady Bronx have had several air balls. Natrona's had a couple themselves, but we're not even drawing iron on the perimeter shots right now. Ella Reese out. Elena Dutcher back in the game for Natrona. Natrona basketball, it's Calling inbounding. Calling gets it off to Reese. This is Reyna. Reyna kicks it off to Calling. Calling left-hand dribble. Lady Bronx switch the defenders, and Blue will guard Calling. Calling gets to the three-point line looking for a cutting Reese. That's stolen by Brogdon, and then Reese fouls her. Well, the pass was a little bit out in front, and Brogdon came up with a steal for Sheridan, and then she was just pulled down by Reyna Reese. Ruby Reimers into the game. We'll see who the Bronx sub out. It's Hanift. Like I said, Hanift plays in about 3-minute stretches. Always gets a seat on the bench. She'll get the quarter break as well, so she'll sit the last 50 seconds of the quarter, get that extra break, and then likely start the second quarter. 10-14, the Lady Bronx trail. They started out well and then got sloppy. Blue trying to penetrate. Step through, kick it out to Tridy. Open three, right wing. She eyes it, missed everything again. Ball on the baseline, out of bounds. Boy, Lady Bronx struggling from the three-point line. Lady Bronx shot 28% down in Casper as a team from the perimeter. Not able to find it here tonight in their home gym. 36 seconds to go. Natrona basketball. Full court pressure by the Lady Bronx. Pass goes up the right side. It's Calling. Calling. Right-hand dribble. Tridy cuts her off, and we have a charge as Calling lowered her left shoulder into Tridy. Charge goes against Calling. And Coach J.R. Wilson, not a big fan of that call. He looks to his assistants, asks a question. 28 seconds to go. Lady Bronx with the basketball. Coach Wagner holds up 5 fingers with his right hand. Ella Blue looks over at the official. 20 seconds. She asked him a question. I'm not sure what she's wondering. I think she wants to know about a 5-second call. Blue dribbling through traffic. Almost lost it. Now looks for Tridy and then threw it away. Ball's on the floor. Tridy gives chase. Is able to save it to Blue. Now 7 seconds. Blue way out on the perimeter. 4 seconds. Blue gets past her man. Actually, no, it's a foul on Calling as Calling couldn't stay in front of Blue, and that's not a good foul as that sends Ella Blue to the free throw line. Blue with 2 points here in the first quarter. Last season, Blue was a 66% free throw shooter. First attempt of this season from the charity stripe. Shot up and it goes. Ella Blue with 3 points, and it's 11-14. 3 seconds to go here in the first. Second free throw for Blue after the bonus foul by Calling. Up short. Reimers with the rebound, saves it, and Natrona comes up with it, and that runs out the first quarter. Lady Bronx trail 11-14. You're listening to Lady Bronx basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
At Mystic Tree Farm, holiday magic is in full swing. Our greenhouse is filled with fresh Nordman, Douglas, and noble fir trees, along with beautiful wreaths. Come wander through the trees, sip a warm drink, and find a tree that feels just right. And while you're here, grab a Mystic Tree gift card. It truly is the gift that grows all year. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 5. Mystic Tree Farm, just past the North Main Interchange.
Is Wyoming Corporate Office your one-stop shop for everything you need for your Wyoming-based business, LLC, or corporation formulation? Yes. Service of process and mail forwarding services? Indeed. Fulfill the legal requirements for small businesses based in Wyoming? Absolutely. Wyoming Corporate Office provides the communication between your business and the state, so you don't have to. Learn more by visiting WyomingCorporateOffice.com today.
Hi, this is DJ Dearcorn of First Federal Bank and Trust, and you are listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, second quarter of action just about to start. Hanift, Blue, Brogdon, Wagner, and Tridy on the floor for the Lady Bronx. Lady Bronx start with the basketball. Ella crosses the Bronx head at half court and works right. Hands off to Brogdon. She dribbles left up to the top of the key. A little handoff, a little dribble weave to Tridy. Now over to Blue. Pass was at Blue's ankles. She couldn't handle it out of bounds. Another turnover by the Lady Bronx. No. That's a turnover that just didn't need to happen. Again, it's one thing, if you play up tempo, you're going to turn the ball over some. Lady Bronx right now, their turnovers are just not being strong with the basketball, making poor passes. As the ball goes to the corner, Dinkle fires a three. No good. Rebound fought for, and it's tied up. Jump ball as Hanift and Reyna Reese were tied up. Jump ball goes the way of Natrona as Sheridan started the quarter with the basketball. Lady Bronx down 3, 11-14. Raina Reese looking down low to Dutcher. Dutcher, nice little spin in the lane. Fires a shot, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Dutcher, one dribble, down to the low block, and she's fouled. A reach in on Blue. That's going to be her second foul. (11-14). Second foul on Blue. Reese inbounding. Natrona sets some screens. They get it to Behrens at the elbow, right side. Behrens, one dribble. Cam Wagner ties her up. They call Cam Wagner for a foul. That's her third, so some foul trouble for the Lady Broncs as the senior will likely go to the bench with 3 fouls. Wagner brought her hand down. She tried to tie up Behrens, and when you bring that left arm down, it looks like a foul. Whether you get a lot of ball or not, you're going to get called for that just about every time. Behrens back at the line, misses that one. Behrens hit 2 free throws earlier, missed that one. She has 4 points in the game, the leading scorer for the Phillies. 7:26 on the range scoreboard. Behrens, second free throw up, no good. Actually, it is good. Oh, bounced around the rim several times, fell in, thought it was going to fall off the right side. 4-point lead for Natrona. Blue quickly across half court left side, down to the baseline. Fire a little runner, up and good. Ella Blue with 5. 5'5" senior gets into the paint and cuts the deficit to 2 for the Lady Broncs. Coleman across half court to Reese. Reese dives into the paint, loses the ball. It's tied up, and we have a jump ball call. Reese lost control of that as she tried to dribble through traffic. Blue got her hands on the basketball, and jump ball goes the way of Sheridan. 7:06 on the range scoreboard. 13-15, Lady Broncs trail. Zone pressure in the full court from Natrona. Brogdon, 2 dribbles, picks it up, passes off to Tridy. She's across half court, guarded by Dinkle. Tridy looking to her right. She'll handle the point. Drive, gets to top of the key. Passes off to Hanift, who's also at the top of the key. Hanift, a little jab step. Gets a step on Dutcher into the paint. Fire a shot. Good. They call the foul on the floor. It's a blocking foul. Hanift laid it up and in, so actually a fortunate whistle for Natrona, as that was 2 easy points for Hanift, but the foul came well ahead of time. It's the right call. Dutcher goes to the bench with her second foul. Tridy inbounding as Mowry checks into the game for the Lady Broncs. Mowry, Blue, Hanift, Brogdon, and Tridy on the floor. Hanift with it. Into the paint. Left-hand layup. Oh, no good. Too hard. Had a good look at it. Couldn't convert, and Coleman comes up with the board. Off to Dinkle. Now to Barthel. Barthel across half court. Right-hand dribble. Blue picks her up. They look down low. Dutcher backs down on Brogdon. Fires a shot. Goes off the foam on the bottom of the glass. Lady Broncs clear the rebound. It's Blue across half court. Crossover dribble, then lost it. Stolen away. Another turnover by the Lady Broncs. Pass goes up to Behrens. Behrens almost fell over. Passes off to Barthel. Now to the corner. Dinkle. She'll fire another 3. Left corner. That does not go. Coleman tips the rebound off to Reese. Ball's loose on the floor. Coleman gives chase, as does Tridy and Mowry. Last touched by Sheridan. And Natrona has possession in the corner. Newton comes in for Hanift. Tridy, Newton, Blue, Mowry, and Brogdon on the floor. Coleman inbounding. Coleman looking left, passes left. It's off to Barthel. Barthel, one dribble, pass it off to Reese. This is Ella Reese over to Dinkle, left wing. Dinkle tries to drive on Blue. Little spin move. Good help by Hannah Mowry, and they call a foul on Mowry. Tough foul against Hannah Mowry. She came over in good help. Thought her hands were pretty well straight up, but it's a foul called against Mowry, and that sends Dinkle to the line. Dinkle has not... A lot of times three-point shooters don't get a lot of free throw attempts. This is her first of the year. She's shot 25 threes coming into tonight and has shot 2 threes already. She does hit the first free throw. 1 of 1 for Carly Dinkle, and it's 13-16. Lady Broncs trail by 3. Up and good. She sinks them both. 5 points for the junior. Lady Broncs down 4. Under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Lady Broncs break pressure. It's Tridy off to Blue. Top of the key, working against Coleman. Blue splits a double team, fires a shot off the glass, doesn't go. Newton, nice rebound. Good job by the junior. Got away with the carry. Pass goes off to Brogdon. She'll fire a 17-footer. No good. Rebound cleared out by Behrens. Behrens, little lob pass over to Coleman. Coleman throws it up the sideline, knocked away by Tridy. Brogdon taps it back to Tridy. Tridy, top of the key, jump stop, kick it off Brogdon. Open 3, right wing, in and out. Hit the back iron, hit the front iron, didn't go. And the rebound cleared out by Barthel. Barthel off to Coleman. Coleman across half court. Left-hand pass up to Reese. Ella Reese looking inside. Pass was over the head of Behrens. She couldn't handle it, and the Lady Broncs come up with a steal. Another turnover by Natrona. Blue across half court, working against Coleman. Blue works left, back up dribble to the three-point line, now to Mowry on the perimeter. Mowry, little pivot and back to Blue, 4:58 to go. Blue gets a screen from Brogdon, working right. Natrona switches. Blue working against the much taller Barons. Actually, it's not Barons, it's Barthel. Blue fires a shot, bad shot, air ball. Newton with the rebound. She loses her footing, fires up a shot that goes off the glass, and the rebound's hauled in by Barthel, off to Coleman. And now Natrona basketball. The Lady Broncs not looked smooth offensively, and Brogdon knocks it out of bounds off of Coleman's hand. Good D by the sophomore Brogdon. Forces a turnover against Natrona. Well, it's just got to be corrected so far. Lagaki and Ruby into the game. First time we've called Avery Lagaki's name. She's a junior. So it's Blue, and we have a timeout now, a 30-second timeout by J.R. Wilson, so we'll keep it here. 13-17, Lady Broncs trail by 4. Well, they came out just cooking, just 6 quick points. They were getting anything they wanted offensively in terms of, the flow of the offense. They weren't necessarily hitting shots, but they were getting the shots they wanted. Went up 6-0 and then gave up a 10-0 run to Natrona. And since that point, since it was 6-0, the Lady Broncs they haven't done a good job of taking care of the basketball. It's something that will need to be fixed as we move forward. As we say, 20, almost 25 turnovers a game through their first 3 games. Every time you turn it over, it's a possession you lose. It's a shot you don't get to take. And the Lady Broncs, the last several years have been a pretty efficient scoring. So that means, if you give up, if you're not getting a shot, obviously you don't have an opportunity to score. It's part of the reason the Lady Broncs have been successful, because they didn't turn it over a lot. Out of the timeout, Mowry with it, looking for Lagaki at the high post, passes high. Lagaki runs it down. We have a jump ball. Lagaki fights over it with Barthel, and we've got another turnover by the Lady Broncs. Pass was high. It was poked away. Lagaki ran it down and fought over the basketball with Barthel. Ava Calling, with 3 points in the game, is inbounding for Natrona. She's right in front of her bench. Passes off to Ella Reese, and Ella Reese works against Mowry. She walked with it in the full court, and that's good ball pressure by Hannah Mowry. She didn't get a hand on the basketball, but that pressure right in front of Ella Reese caused her to drag her pivot foot, and it's turnover by Natrona. 13-17 is your score, 4:21 to go. Ella Blue collects the inbound off to Newton. Newton, crossover dribble to Lagaki, high post. Lagaki, left-hand dribble. Kick it out to Blue in the corner. Blue, it was a low pass. Blue would have had an open 3. Pass goes along the baseline. Now Blue kicks it to Mowry. She'll fire a 3, right side, off the back iron. No good. Newton battles for the rebound, pulls it down. Nice board by Aaron Newton. Good strong board. Dribbles out to the corner. Bounce pass to Lagaki on the perimeter. Skip pass over to the corner, Ruby. Then to Blue, and then Blue looking for a cutting Lagaki. It was just outside of her reach, and it's another turnover on the Lady Broncs. Big rebound by Aaron Newton kept the possession alive, but the Lady Broncs could not capitalize on a second chance, and now Mowry gets the turnover. Good defense by the junior. She steals the basketball in the full court, hands off to Blue. Blue settles for a long 3, no good. Ruby offensive board up and in. Kinley Ruby with her first home points of the season. 2 points off the bench. 15-17, Lady Broncs trail by 2, 3:36 to go. Calling across half court, hounded by Blue. Man-to-man, Blue has those 2 fouls. She needs to be careful. Ball on the floor, knocked away. Kinley Ruby jumps the passing lane, goes up left side, one-on-one against Calling. Now help comes. Shot up, no good. Rebound fought for. Lagaki comes away with it on the floor. Kick it out, Newton. Newton dribbles into traffic. She's fouled. A good hustle by Mowry, Lagaki, Ruby. They kept that ball alive, got it out to Newton, and then Newton was fouled from behind by Raina Reese. Cam Wagner with those 3 fouls checks in for Blue. And we also got Parker Tridy into the game. Newton out. Mowry on the floor collects the inbound pass, gets it to Lagaki. Nice pass to Wagner in the paint. Double team comes, kick it off Mowry. Baseline, nice little move. Gets baseline. Double team comes, kick it out Wagner. Wagner, right hand dribble in the paint. Fire a shot off the window, and no in and out, no good. Coleman clears out the rebound for Natrona. Natrona up 2, off to Reese. Now down low, Dutcher. Dutcher, a little step through in the lane, past Wagner, up and in. Well, that's a play Cam Wagner defensively makes all of the time, but with those 3 fouls, she did not want to foul. Quickly the other way to Wagner. Wagner fires a shot off the glass. No good. Now to Coleman. Now to Reese. Lady Broncs trail by 4. Up to Calling. Down low to Dutcher. Guarded by Wagner. She traveled. Tried to put her elbow into Wagner. Wagner went straight up, and then Dutcher just took an extra step. Lagaki out, Hanift in. Hanift, Tridy, Mowry, Wagner, and Ruby on the floor for the Lady Broncs. Tridy working against the double team. It's the zone pressure Natrona's been showing most of the first half. Tridy breaks pressure with the dribble, gets to the Bronc head, calls out the play. Works left, hands off to Mowry on the left wing. Mowry works toward the top of the key. Little skip pass over to Hanift. Hanift fakes the three, gets into the paint, fires a shot up off the window, no good. Bounced off the iron, the glass, no good. And then Reese clears the window, gets it up to Ella Reese. Reina to Ella. Ella up the floor. This is Ella Reese. Fires a shot, that's no good. Airballed everything. Wagner comes up with a rebound. 2 minutes to go. 15-19 is your score. Pass to Tridy. Tridy skip it over to Wagner. Wagner back up dribble along the baseline, right-hand side, off to Ruby. Now to Tridy, top of the key. Pass it off to Hanift, left wing. Hanift guarded man-to-man by Reese. Kick it off to Mowry. Mowry tries to penetrate, gets to the elbow, kicks it to the left corner. Tridy. Now hand off to Hanift. Hanift, little spin move. She can't beat her man. Gets a step on Calling. Into the paint. Little step through up and in. Nice move by Mesa Hanift. She has 6 points and it's 17-19. A minute and a half to go. Lady Broncs down 2. Second quarter of action on the Range scoreboard. Calling. Spin move against Mowry. Gets to the low block. Kick it out to the right side. Reese. Swing it over to Reese. This is Raina Reese. She got it from Ella Reese. Kick it along the baseline to Coleman. Kick it up top. Calling. She'll fire a three. Top of the key. Missed everything. Out of bounds. Well, I'm not sure what the Wyoming high school record is for airballed threes in a game by both sides, but whatever it is, I think we're approaching it. It's been a number of airballed threes here in the first half. I think there's only been 1 3 made, and it's been by Natrona. Carly Dinkle hit a 3 early in the first quarter. Hanift with it in the half court. Minute 7 to go on the Range scoreboard. Lady Broncs down 2. Pass goes off to Wagner. Hand off to Hanift. Hanift fire long 2. Miss it off the glass. Well, it wasn't an air ball, but it was missed badly. Dutcher with a rebound. Off to Coleman. Gets it to Reese. This is Raina. Raina guarded by Parker Tridy. Kick it off to Coleman. Coleman guarded by Blue. Swing it over to Dinkle. Dinkle looking inside for Dutcher. The sophomore almost walked again. Wagner ties her up. We've got a jump ball. Boy, Dutcher just not smooth with her feet down there. Has a couple almost travels and an actual travel. That time she lost her footing and Cam Wagner was able to tie it up for a jump ball call and a turnover against Natrona as Sheridan takes possession. 40 seconds to go. Ella Blue across half court. Works right off to Hanift. Hanift top of the key. Looks inside. Passes off to Wagner at the elbow. Handoff back to Hanift. She dribbles, gets past her man, fires a shot. She goes to the line to shoot, and she turned her ankle, I think. She went down and grabbed her right ankle immediately, I believe. Yeah, it was her right ankle. And if you've been a volleyball fan, you know Hanift has struggled with those ankles. Had to miss regional tournament last, and she's down on the floor. She's helped up by her teammates, Blue and Tridy. And Cam Wagner says, let me get in here. I'm a lot taller than you, Parker. But Parker stays there. They need to get some taller people out there. So as Hanift is much, she's the tallest person on the floor, and she is not putting any weight on that right ankle, and you hate to see that. Well, Ella Blue missed the first 3 games with a turned right ankle. Mesa Hanift gets carried off the floor by Katie Lagaki and Chris Wagner, Coach Chris Wagner. And based on that, she's not able to put any weight on that right foot. You'd imagine we may not see her again tonight. She's a tough kid. Those turned ankles are tough. And Sarah Munn checks into the game to shoot free throws. As Hanift was fouled, Coach Wagner subs in the senior, Sarah Munn. She goes to the free throw line, hasn't played yet in this game. Goes to the free throw line and missed that free throw. And Maggie Brogdon's in for Cam Wagner for the final 26 seconds. Good substitution there to get Wagner out of the game with those 3 fouls. Munn back at the line for the second free throw that was awarded to Hanift. Shot up and good. Sarah Munn hits it. 18-19, Lady Broncs trail by 1. 24 seconds to go. Coleman across half court, guarded by Tridy man-to-man. Coleman picks up a dribble at the volleyball line, 30 feet from the hoop. Kick it off to Dutcher. She's guarded by Munn. Dutcher looking inside, gets it to Behrens. Behrens is at the high post. Ball's on the floor, stolen away by Blue and Tridy. Tridy came up with it, gets it to Brogdon. 7 seconds. Brogdon, top of the key. Reverse pivot. Blue fires a deep 3. Top of the key, no good. Reimers, rebound. Ruby fires a shot, no good. Oh, she had a good look at it. Ruby couldn't get it to go, and the Lady Broncs head to their locker room, down 1, 18-19. Well, a sloppy first half from the Lady Broncs. Natrona had opened up a 6-point lead at one point. The Lady Broncs cut it to 1 heading into the half. You're listening to Lady Bronc basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
Hi, this is Jill Bates
and Colton Bates
with the Bates team at Best Real Estate.
During the month of December, we would like to pause and say thank you to our incredible clients and wonderful community. Your trust and support have made this year truly special.
As we step into the magic of Christmas, we are reminded of everything that makes this season shine. The laughter around the table, the joy of giving, the sparkle of lights, and the warmth of gathering with the ones we love.
From all of us at Best Real Estate, may your holidays be filled with good food, fun, and heartfelt celebration.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Bring your cybersecurity within range. Cyber attacks don't just put your data at risk, they put your productivity at risk too. Range Managed IT Services gives you a full suite of data protection, including managed firewalls, next-gen endpoint protection, and staff training to keep your business safe. Let our experts take care of your company's cybersecurity so you can take care of business and live your West life. Visit range.net/managed services and protect your business today.
We all know what number 1 and number 2 are, but have you ever gone number 3? Well, if you have and you now need someone to come and fix your plumbing, there's only one call to make. A+ Plumbing has seen and dealt with it all over the years, and they will not judge you. Give them a call at 672-9454 and let them take care of your number 3. After all, they are number 1 in the number 2 business. A+ Plumbers, 672-9454.
Mossholder's annual Snowflake sale has begun. Just like every year, every customer will save at least 10%, but several will receive discounts of 50, 20, and 30% off. One lucky customer will receive half off their entire purchase. It's easy to save. Once you've selected all the furniture or bedding you'd like to buy, you get to choose an ornament of your choice, and inside, a snowflake reveals how much you save. The Snowflake sale runs through December 23rd and is good for in-stock and special order purchases. That's Mossholder's annual Snowflake sale, going on now. Mossholders, furniture is our passion.
This is Dr. Dana Leroy with Leroy Family Dental, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. We're at halftime. Lady Broncs trail 18-19. There's not a lot of scoring in this one, and it's because neither offense has been able to get in any sort of groove offensively, because they continually just turn the ball over. It's just been back and forth turnovers from both teams, a low-scoring affair, 18-19. And, the defenses have played well, but a lot of these turnovers are turnovers that later in the season you just absolutely shouldn't make, right? If you're a coach, you want to have a few turnovers in a game because it means you're not playing you're not playing safe, right? You want to push the issue a little bit. But right now, a lot of the turnovers are just unforced errors from both sides. And because of that, they're not getting good looks. The ball's just going back and forth. It's almost like ping pong at half court. Ball just keeps going back. We saw it a little bit against Riverton in the second game of the season that the Lady Broncs played down in Casper. But after these two games, the game against Natrona here tonight and then in Casper tomorrow against Kelly Walsh, it'll be a long break, a long layoff before the Lady Broncs and Broncs head down to Cheyenne after the new year. And they'll have some time to work on it, right? But it's something right now that's just, the Lady Broncs, from a skill standpoint, from an ability standpoint, they're definitely a better team than Natrona. Add to that, Natrona is shorthanded tonight. They're missing 3 players that normally get some minutes on varsity. They're missing 3 due to injury, so it's a shorthanded Natrona team, and Sheridan's down 1 at half. They've not been able to take advantage of it. And then Sheridan not playing great, down 1, and then you add on top of that, Mesa Haniff may not return, right? She's out. She's actually on the training table. She's not back in the locker room with her team, who's in there getting talked to by Coach Chris Wagner. Haniff is at the training table. She's being seen by the trainer Joanne Goss, who just give her a shout out. She does such an amazing job for all of these athletes, not just basketball players, it's football players. She's in the training room icing, cross-country kids, wrestlers. She spends a lot of time with your student athletes, and she's down there right now looking at Mesa. And Mesa, I don't know if she had tears in her eyes, but she was on the verge of tears after she sprained that ankle going to the basket late in the second quarter, and she's got a few people around her, and if Mesa misses, I mean, I guess it's never good news, but I suppose now's the time of the season for it to happen. I jokingly had said that to Ella Blue after she sprained her ankle in that scrimmage to open the season that they were having against one another. She turned her ankle. She missed the first 3 games of the season. Great to have her back tonight. But I jokingly said, this is the time you want to have a little bit of an injury. If you're going to miss games, it's good early in the season. And certainly the Lady Broncs, if they want to get back to the state championship, we're going to need Mesa Hanift on the floor. And right now being assessed. And I think it's highly unlikely we'll see her tonight. The coaches, of course, don't want to push anything early in the season because none of these games technically matter, right? It does not matter what your record is at all until you get into conference play. Conference record is the only thing that matters when it comes to postseason play and postseason seeding. So a lot of times coaches err on the side of caution, as they should. Don't want to put a kid and get a further injury, but looks like Hanift will no longer play. The Broncs are on the floor warming up. No longer play tonight, I should say. Not that her uniform is off or anything, but it looks like she likely will not return here tonight as she is still talking to the head athletic trainer, Joanne Goss. The Broncs are on the floor. They take on a 3-1 Natrona team. The Broncs themselves are 2-1. This is a Natrona team that has one senior, a lot of juniors, a couple sophomores, and a lot of experience returning. Natrona was kind of a middling team, a middle-of-the-road team last year, but another year of experience for a lot of young players last year. They're coming back for their junior and sophomore seasons. I think we'll be in for a good one against Natrona. You do wonder if Sheridan will be able to wear down Natrona as the game goes on, kind of like Sheridan did to Douglas and Riverton down in Casper, as Sheridan's just such a good, well-rounded team that you don't get any breaks on defense or offense if you're the opponent of the Broncs, and kind of feel like maybe the Broncs would have an opportunity to do that against Natrona, but they're high school kids, and you never know what you're going to get. We'll run down some scoring real quick, and then we'll take a break to hear from some of our sponsors and get to the second half. For Natrona, for the Phillies, they had 5 players score in the first half. Joss Behrens and Carly Dinkle led the way with 5 each. Elena Dutcher had 4. Ava Calling had a 3-pointer. Ella Reese had 2 points. That's all the scoring for Natrona. That's 19 points. And for Sheridan, just 18 points total. Mesa Hanift had 6. Ella Blue had 5. Cam Wagner had 4. Ruby Kinley had 2. And Sarah Munn had a free throw. That's it. Not a lot of scoring. As I said, kind of a sloppy brand of basketball here before Christmas in the early going for the Lady Broncs. We'll take a break and come back with your second half of action. You're listening to Lady Bronc Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
Have you been in to see Sheridan YO Sports Cards yet? It's the spot to get your hands on incredible sports cards and memorabilia. Sheridan's premier spot for buying cards. All major sports cards including fighting, wrestling, Pokemon, and even racing. These guys have hobby boxes for the serious collectors and packs for those getting started. Graded slabs from PSA, SGC, and if you have a big card to grade, talk to the guys to have your card submitted to PSA. Family friendly and located inside Sheridan Stationery Books and Gifts, 535 North Main, open 7 days a week.
Loans can help people when they need money. Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union makes loans. So does that mean Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union helps people? You bet it does. That's what it's all about. When you're a credit union member, that means you're also an owner. And practically anyone in the Sheridan area can be a member by becoming a customer. At Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union, located at 141 South Gould, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Jeff Tomlinson with Stifel Financial, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, it's the first home game of the season and the only home game before Christmas that the Sheridan Broncs and Lady Broncs are going to get. Sheridan Pep Band is in attendance. You can hear them in the background as they just finished their song. Lady Broncs trail 18-19 against the Natrona County Phillies. Lady Broncs 2-1 on the season. Natrona has not won a game. They were 0-4. They've been blown out 4 times. They got blown out by Arvada West. They lost by 12 to Warland, got blown out by Douglas and by Cody. All of that happened last weekend down in Casper at the same tournament the Lady Broncs were at. Last year, Natrona lost to the Lady Broncs in the first round of the state tournament, 42-62. Obviously, a few kids graduate, they move on, so they're not the same teams, but the Lady Broncs beat Natrona by 20 last year in that first round of the state tournament in March down in Casper. And we're ready to go. Starting the second half, in place of Mesa Hannaford, it's Erin Newton. She is joined by Cam Wagner, Maggie Brogdon, Ella Blue, and Parker Tridy on the floor. It's Natrona basketball to start. It's Raina Reese, Joss Behrens, Ava Calling, Elena Dutcher, and Carly Dinkle on the floor for the Phillies. Sheridan in their home whites. Natrona Road Blacks. Natrona basketball. 2-3 zone comes from the Lady Broncs. And immediately a double team comes from Tridy and Blue. Blue gets the steal up the right side, lay it up, and good. Ella Blue with 7 points. As I said, first game of the season for Ella Blue. She averaged just over 9 points a game last year, and we have a whistle. The clock is running. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It might be the shot clock. So the shot clock will be a thing next year officially in 3A and 4A basketball in Wyoming. In these non-conference early games, if both teams agree to have a shot clock, they can use it. Again, that's non-conference games, so we are playing with a shot clock. You wouldn't even know. It hasn't been an issue in this one at all. Pass goes off to Calling. Calling guarded by Trider. Calling fires a shot from the elbow. Ball was tipped and out of bounds, and I think Calling actually maybe got fouled. It was a wild shot. No call, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it's awarded to Sheridan after the air ball. And Sheridan has their first lead since early in the first quarter. They're up 20-19 after the early bucket by Ella Blue. Blue darts into the paint, almost turns it over, almost walked, gets it to Tridy. Tridy will fire a little jumper, a little 10-footer, and she airballed it. Blue dives on the floor trying to save it out of bounds off of Blue. And it's Natrona basketball. Tridy had a good look at it, just left it short from a shot about 10 feet in the paint, maybe 8 feet in the paint. 7-12 on the range scoreboard. Lady Broncs in their 2-3 zone. Pass stolen by Cam Wagner. Got back by Calling. Wagner jumped the passing lane. Took it away. The ball was loose, and Calling ran it down. Shot fired by Natrona. Up, no good. Dinkle with the offensive board. Good D by Cam Wagner. Offensive board by... let's get it right. That was Calling. Calling lays it up and in. She has 5 points in the game. Pass goes off to Tridy. Now to Blue. Blue, top of the key. Zone from Natrona. Actually, nope, it's man. Looked like a 2-3 zone. They fall back into man. Pass goes to Blue. Now to Tridy. Tridy, right-hand dribble to the free throw line. Gets it to Brogdon. She'll fire a three. Top of the key. That's long. Wagner fights for the rebound. She gets whistled for over the back. That's her fourth foul. Well, with Hannaford nursing that ankle and Wagner with 4 fouls, Sheridan loses their size advantage. I don't know if it's much of an advantage. I shouldn't say that, but they lose their size. They're players who get a lot of rebounds. I mean, you're missing 13 rebounds with Wagner and Hannaford on the bench. 14 rebounds a game. Calling across half court. Almost threw it away. Gets it to Reese. Now Reese to the elbow. Kicks it off. Skip pass to Dinkle. She'll fire a three. Off to Iron. No good. Offensive rebound up and in. Calling with the offensive rebound. I'm sorry, Dutcher. Dutcher with the offensive rebound and the putback. She got it to go. 7 points for Dutcher. Now Brogdon. Brogdon looking baseline to Tridy. Tridy, a couple dribbles. Now backs it out. Thought about the three. Kick it to Brogdon. Brogdon into the paint. Kick it out Mowry. Open three. Top of the key. Mowry fires. Hit it. Hannah Mowry, the junior, her first points, and that's her first 3 of the season. 23-23. We're knotted up. Under 6 to go here in the third period. Calling across half court. Looks down low. Behrens. Double team comes. Mowry ripped it away. Jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Sheridan. Good play by Mowry. She dropped off her man out on the perimeter. When that pass was inserted down low, Mowry came down and just tied up Behrens. Jump ball, and the Lady Broncs skip possession with a chance to take the lead in this one. 5:49 to go. Mowry, Blue, Brogdon, Newton, and Tridy on the floor for the Lady Broncs. A lot of guards. Blue with it. Blue, little penetration. Step through. Off the glass. Good. Ella Blue, 9 points. 25-23. Calling across half court. Blue and Tridy trying to bait her into getting into a double team. She gets rid of it to Dinkle. Back to Calling. Calling to the perimeter. Kicks it off to Dutcher. Now down to Dinkle. Over to Calling. Ball's poked away by Hannah Mowry and out of bounds. Last touched by Mowry. Billy Coleman checks into the game for Natrona. She's played several minutes. She checks in for Dinkle. Newton, Blue, Tridy, Mowry, and Brogdon on the floor. It's Barons. Actually, Calling stays on the floor. They changed their substitution. Calling stays on the floor. Inbound pass goes to Raina Reese. Raina kicks it off to Barons. She fires a three off the front iron. No good. Erin Newton's done a good job on the boards today as she pulled in that rebound. She's just out jumping everybody in the paint. Gets another rebound. Brogdon with it into the paint. Kick it off to Mowry. Mowry looking down low to Newton. Newton one dribble. She's on the low block. Kicks it out. Overhead pass to Brogdon. Top of the key three. She missed it. Coleman pulled in the rebound, and then Brogdon went to get her own offensive rebound and ran Coleman over. So Brogdon picks up a foul. And Kinley Ruby runs over to the scorer's table to check in for Sheridan. Ruby comes in. That's just Brogdon's first foul. Ruby does check in for Brogdon. Blue, Tridy, Ruby, Newton, and Mowry on the floor. Coleman and Ella Reese in the backcourt for Natrona, joined by Barthel, Dutcher, and Barons. Barthel has it, kicks it off to Dutcher. Dutcher finds a cutting Barons. Barons fires a shot. It was blocked away by Newton. Newton comes up with it, gets it off to Blue. Lady Bronx with a 2-point lead. 4:37 on the range scoreboard. Blue wants to push it, gets to the elbow. Double team comes, throws it off of the knees of Mowry. She runs it down. The junior kicks it off to the junior Ruby. Ruby on the perimeter, drives into the paint. Left-hand shot up and in. Kinley Ruby, nice little move. 4 points for Ruby, and it's a 4-point lead for the Lady Bronx. Coleman kicks it off to Barthel. Barthel looking down low. Newton with the steal. Good D by the junior, and Newton brings it up the floor. Right-hand dribble across half court. Nobody picks her up. She darts down into the paint. Little crossover. Fires a shot and good. Nobody stopped her. That's just a breakdown defensively by Natrona as Newton laid that up and in. And we have a timeout on the floor. Newton gets her first points. I mean, she got the rebound, jogged up the floor, and literally nobody stopped her. She was able to go 94 feet. Lay it up and in on the other end, and it's a 29-23 lead for the Lady Bronx. Timeout on the floor. You're listening to Lady Bronx basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
If you've got college on your mind while juggling holiday chaos, Sheridan College has your back. Walk-in Wednesdays are coming up January 7th and January 14th. Just stop by the lobby of the Whitney Center for the Arts anytime between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. No appointment, no stress. They'll help you register, sort out financial aid, and get you ready for spring classes starting January 20th. Consider it the easiest thing you'll do all season. If you have questions, call 307-675-0500.
This is Terry Winnup with Sheridan Physical Therapy, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, Lady Bronx are on an 11-4 run to open up the second half through 4 minutes. More importantly than that, Lady Bronx have just done a much better job of taking care of the basketball. I've been really good at the broadcaster jinx so far this year, but whether it's free throws or shooting or turnovers, doesn't matter. I've been really good at jinxing the teams through the first 3.5 games. Well, really, I've done the boys' games, so 6.5 games. Ruby gets a steal out of the timeout. Pass it off to Blue. Blue into the paint. Fires a shot off the glass, and good. Blocking foul goes against Coleman. Ella Blue lay it up and in. We'll make sure they count the basket. I'm sure they will. There it is. There's the official signal. 11 points for Blue. And she's at the line to shoot one more. (31-23), an opening run from the Lady Bronx. And they've done a great job turning Natrona over to begin this second half. Blue hits that free throw, 12 points. And then, more importantly, converting that into points. Lady Bronx zone is giving Natrona trouble. It's a 2-3 zone extended out to half court. Calling with it. Pushes off on Blue. Double team comes by Tridy. Pass goes off to Reese. This is Ella Reese. Off to Dinkle. Dinkle tries to drive baseline. Newton cuts her off. Good D. Pass goes off to Ella Reese. Now to the corner, Dinkle. Dinkle, Mowry, and Tridy all over her. Pass goes inside to a cutting Calling. Calling fire. Oh, got a great pass to Reese, who fires it up and in. Raina Reese lay it in for her first 2 points. Really good pass from Calling. Reese couldn't handle it at first, but collected it in and then lays it up and in. Now Blue with it, working against Reese. Blue gets hit in the face by Ava Calling. Calling's left hand went to Ella Blue's forehead. And it's a foul and Lady Bronx basketball. 32-25 is your score. Lady Bronx up 7. Inbound pass to a cutting Mowry. Mowry tried to dump it off for Ruby, threw it away to Reese. Reese up the left sideline. This is Raina Reese. Ella Reese is on the floor as well for Natrona. Pass goes off to Calling. And Calling starts the offense. She's on the right-hand side near the three-point line. Kick it off to Dutcher. She's at the top of the key. Dutcher primarily plays inside. Doesn't look comfortable out there on that three-point line. Off to Dinkle. She'll fire another three and miss. Blue hauls in the rebound and Lady Bronc basketball. Blue quickly up to Newton, who runs the floor well. Left-hand layup. Good. Give the assist to Blue. 2 more points for Erin Newton, who now has 4 in the second half, and it's 34-25. It's a 9-point lead. Pass goes down low. Dutcher. Dutcher trying to work. She traveled. Good D by Erin Newton. Stayed straight up, slid her feet. And again, Dutcher drug her feet. Avery Lagaki runs over the scorer's table. And we do get the buzz for the late score from the late scorer's table. Kinley Ruby out. Lagaki in. She joins Newton, Tridy, Mowry, and Blue on the floor. 34-25. 2.5 minutes to go on the range scoreboard. The senior Blue dribbles it up right-handed. She's picked up by Raina Reese in the quarter court. Pass goes to Mowry, swinging around the perimeter. Tridy. Now to Newton. Newton can't handle it. Rings it in. Little behind-the-back dribble along the baseline to a posting up Lagaki. Kick it out to Mowry. Wide open three, top of the key. Missed it short. Offensive board. Hannah Mowry off the glass. No good. Rebound tipped around. Newton comes up with it. Ball on the baseline. Newton. And we got a timeout by Coach Chris Wagner as Newton was in traffic. Good decision by the head coach of the Lady Broncs. Good job by Avery Lagaki there. She jumped up, tipped that ball. She couldn't get 2 hands on it. Tipped it to Newton. Newton gets credit for the offensive board. And then Coach Wagner keeps possession by burning a 30-second timeout. 34-25, Lady Broncs lead, 2:10 to go, third period of action. Well, again, I don't want to jinx the Lady Broncs, but they have looked much stronger offensively through the first 5 minutes and 50 seconds of the third quarter than they did the final 14 minutes of the first half. They came out pretty well through the first 2 minutes, and then I don't know what happened. They just started turning it over. It's not like Natrona changed up their defense on them or anything. Just started turning the ball over and could not get in any sort of a groove offensively. They were down 1 at half. They lead by 9 right here with 2 minutes still to go in the third quarter. Blue, Mowry, Lagaki, Newton, and Tridy on the floor. Inbound pass goes to Mowry. Mowry's fouled by Ella Reese. Mowry was just cutting into the paint. The pass came from Blue. Mowry got 2 hands on it, and Reese got a right arm in there on Mowry. Blue, little lob pass out to Newton at the elbow. Newton, 1 dribble, looking inside. Overhead pass to Blue. Blue checks the three-point line, fires the 3, does not go. Rebound fought for and won by Hannah Mowry. Mowry looking inside for Lagaki, doesn't have her. Mowry throws it off to Newton. Mowry was fouled first by Raina Reese this time. Mowry was in the corner, the far right corner, as the Lady Broncs work right to left across your radio dial this half. She got bumped by Reese before making the pass, and we have a substitution as Dutcher, the sophomore, checks into the game. Dutcher, the leading scorer for Natrona in this one with 7 points. Ella Blue, the leading scorer for the Lady Broncs, and Ella inbounds the pass off of Dutcher's hands and out of bounds, so we can redo that. Dutcher guarding Blue right along the baseline. Blue fakes a bounce pass. Overhead pass to Newton. Newton hands off to Tridy around the perimeter. Tridy stops at the three-point line, kicks it off to Mowry in the corner. Mowry drives baseline, one-handed pass out to Blue. Left-hand corner. Shot fired, no good. Rebound lost by Reese. This was Ella Reese out of bounds. Sheridan keeps possession. Well, Sheridan's had a bunch of inbounds passes from this baseline here in the last 30 seconds of game clock. Tridy looking inside, throws it off of Dinkle and out of bounds. So we'll redo it. Another pass as Coleman checks into the game for Natrona. Coleman, Dutcher, Dinkle, Behrens, and Ella Reese on the floor for Natrona. Sheridan shows a box formation this time. They're a little confused. Tridy's trying to inbound. We're close to a 5-second call. She dumps it off to Lagaki. Back to the basket. Kick it out, Blue. Blue puts a move on Coleman. Step through, fires it off the glass. Puts some English on it and got it to go. What a tough shot from Ella Blue. She was falling down, just put a little extra spin on that thing. It bounced off the window, up off the front iron, and good. What a shot by Ella Blue, and the Lady Broncs lead by 11. Ella Blue with 14. She's at the free throw line. Shot up, and it does not go. Ella Blue misses that one. So the lead remains 11, and then Natrona tries to run the floor. They try to transition quickly, try to get it to Dinkle, and the pass was out in front of her and out of bounds. It's another turnover by Natrona, and Newton... Actually, no, Kinley Ruby checks in for Avery Lagaki. So Ruby, Newton, Tridy, Mowry, and Blue on the floor for the Lady Broncs. Blue crosses half court. Works to the left side, stops at the three-point line, kicks it off to Ruby. Now swings it over Tridy. Open three, right side. That's short. Rebound hauled in by Joss Behrens. Kicks it up to Dinkle. Dinkle along the left sideline, kicks it off to Coleman. Coleman pushes it across half court. Little lob pass tipped away by Ruby, run down by Dinkle. Spin move along the baseline, fires a shot, and we have a foul. I think they're going to get Hannah Mowry for the foul. Ella Blue is in the area, but Hannah Mowry scooted over. They do whistle the junior Mowry for a foul. Mowry has a three-pointer in this game. Those are her only points. And Dinkle stands at the free throw line with 5 points. Make it 6. She hits that free throw. Ruby Reimers and Sarah Munn into the game. If you're joining us late, Mesa Haniff turned her right ankle in the first half. Late in that second quarter, she is on the bench, likely not going to play in this one. Dinkle's second free throw up and in. 7 points for the junior. And it's Lady Bronc basketball. 36-27. Blue splits a double team. Gets across half court. Ball poked away. Blue so quick. Gets by Reese. Kicks it off to Ruby Reimers, who fire a three from the corner. Bang! Ruby Reimers. Reimers with 3 points. She's been a good three-point shooter early in the season. She's now 5 of 11. 39-27 is your score. 49 seconds to go on the range scoreboard. Coleman across half court. Picks up her dribble. Kicks it off to Reese. That's Ella. Kick it down low. Behrens looking for a little dump-off pass stolen by Ruby. Bad pass. Behrens was looking for Dutcher. Ruby just stepped in and stole it. Hands off to Blue. And the Lady Broncs can hold for the last shot of the quarter if they want. Blue with it with 30 seconds to go. And actually, they'll have to be late in the shot clock as the pass goes off to Tridy. Tridy fires a shot off the glass. Doesn't draw iron. Rebound fought for by Munn. Ruby comes away with it. Now to Ruby Reimers. Now up to Sarah Munn. Up and in. Munn gets her first basket. She has 3 total points as she hit a free throw earlier. Coleman kicks it up to Dinkle. 8 seconds. Dinkle 30 feet from the hoop. Dinkle right-hand dribble gets to the three-point line. 4 seconds. Gets baseline. Pass it off to Dutcher. 1 second. Ball on the floor. Spin in the lane. Fires a shot. It would have been late anyway, even if it had gone. 41-27. Lady Broncs have opened up a 14-point lead. We'll come back with your fourth quarter of action. You're listening to Lady Bronc Basketball on Sheridan Media Sports.
Looking to get rewarded just for spending? With our You Choose Debit Cards reward program, you can earn points every time you swipe. Redeem your points for cash back, gift cards, travel, and more. It's your money. It pays to spend smarter. Enroll today and make your debit card work as hard as you do. Visit Security State Bank today and start earning with You Choose Rewards at no cost to you. Security State Bank, small enough to listen, big enough to help. Member FDIC.
This is Dr. Michelle Meehan, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki, and this looks a little bit more like the game I expected to see in this matchup between Sheridan and Natrona. It took 2.5 quarters to get here, but Sheridan now leads by 14, and they just look like the better team in that third quarter, and Sheridan looks a lot more calm offensively. They're playing much more clean. And just to make it official, I did catch Mesa Haniff's ankle there on the court. Her shoe is off, her wrap is off, her ankle brace is off. She is icing it, so we will not see Haniff the rest of the way, just to make it official. We assumed that would be the case anyway when she went down, but just to make it official, she will not be. Natrona starts with the basketball. Lady Broncs are going to stick with this 2-3 defensive zone that extends all the way out to half court. Natrona's had a lot of problems with it, and they turn it over. Munn steals the ball along the baseline, gets it off to Ruby Reimers, the senior, across half court. Reimers just hit a 3, kicks it off to Blue. Blue, right-hand dribble, screen comes for her. She works right, goes baseline, and Blue's fouled. She was bumped by Raina Reese. So Blue, first foul of the new quarter against Natrona, and Blue inbounds from underneath her own hoop along the baseline. Little pass to Ruby Reimers. She goes in the lane, fires a wild shot off the glass. No good. Rebound hauled in by Natrona. Up to Coleman. Coleman pushes it off to Raina Reese. Reese down low. Fires a shot blocked away by Ruby Reimers. She collects it, and the ball's stolen back, but we have a jump ball call. Ruby Reimers deflected that ball, got her own rebound, and then good hustle by Raina Reese as she tied it back up. So the hustle does not pay off for Natrona as the possession arrow stays with Sheridan, but good hustle nonetheless. 41-27. 7.5 minutes to go here in the game. Ella Blue across half court, left-hand dribble along the sideline. Coleman comes over, knocks it away. Ball's on the floor, turnover by the Lady Bronx. I haven't said that much here in the second half. Coleman kicks it off to Barthel. Barthel lay it up and in. Her first points off the bench for Natrona. 41-29, Lady Bronx up 12. Tridy with it, working against full court pressure. She gets a screen, and then we have back-to-back turnovers as Tridy throws a bad pass to Munn. It's intercepted by Dutcher. Dutcher the other way, guarded by Blue. Dutcher picks up her dribble, pass along the baseline. Reese, this is Reyna. Reyna driving baseline, and she just stepped on the baseline. Good job by the Lady Bronx to move their feet. So Natrona turns it over, and it'll be Sheridan basketball after the timeout on the floor. J.R. Wilson, the head coach of Natrona, uses a timeout, and it is a full one, so we'll break with them. Lady Bronx lead by 12, 41-29. You're listening to Lady Bronx basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
Do you have family coming to town and not enough room in your home to accommodate them? Book them a room at the Candlewood Suites in Sheridan. They'll enjoy features like fully equipped kitchens that include a microwave, full-sized refrigerator, dishwasher, stovetop, even pots and pans, and free guest laundry. Did I mention the outstanding views of the Bighorns? Book your reservation with the Candlewood Suites and relax knowing they'll feel right at home. Call the Candlewood Suites 307-675-2100.
Hi, this is DJ Dearcorn of First Federal Bank and Trust, and you are listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. Lady Bronx lead 41-29. They are trying to hang on to this one and run their record to 3-1 on the season. Just a reminder, if you've been listening to the radio or you tuned in a little late, this game is live streamed on SheridanMedia.com, so you can get the video. It's a great video. Coleman Hanchett is running the camera tonight, and they just do a great job with Sheridan Media. So if you're thinking you'd like to listen to the boys' game, remember there's video, so you can flip that on. You can also go to the Sheridan Media's YouTube channel. You can go to Sheridan Media's Facebook page and get the video of tonight's action as well. Inbound pass gets inserted to the low block. Dutcher missed it. Sheridan clears the rebound, and now it's Blue with the possession. Blue didn't see the defense coming, got it stolen from behind by Barthel. Just a bad turnover by Blue. She had no idea somebody was behind her. It was just stolen right away. Bench should yell. Somebody's got to yell for her, but you've got to know that's coming, and it's a turnover. Lady Bronx had done such a good job of not turning the ball over in the third quarter, and they have 3 turnovers here to start the fourth. 41-29. Inbound pass, looking for Dutcher. Ruby steals it away. Ruby gets it off to Tridy. Tridy, crossover dribble, little bounce pass off to Blue. She crosses half court. Blue, top of the key, takes a quick 3. Hard off the back iron. Long rebound, hauled in by Reimers. Reimers, the senior, drives into the paint, fires a shot off the glass. No good. She's fouled on the box out. Elena Dutcher knocked Ruby Reimers to the floor. And Reimers goes to the line to shoot 2. 6:18 on the range scoreboard, fourth quarter of action. It's Aaron Newton, Kinley Ruby, Ella Blue, Parker Tridy on the floor for the Lady Bronx, as well as the free throw shooter, Ruby Reimers, who misses that one. Ruby has a 3 in the game, hit it right before the quarter break. We've got a late substitution for Sheridan as Hannah Mowry's into the game. Actually, Hannah Mowry is not in the game. She'll come in for Ruby Reimers if Reimers can hit this free throw. It's Dinkle, Dutcher, Calling, Coleman, and where's my final number? Actually, now Josh Behrens is going to sub in for Calling anyway. So Calling, Coleman, Dinkle, Elleries, and Dutcher on the floor for Natrona. Natrona basketball, Lady Bronx lead 42-29 after Reimers hits that free throw. 13-point lead for the Lady Bronx. Natrona basketball, Coleman, little lob pass to Reese. Now to Dutcher at the elbow. Swing it over to Behrens in the corner. She'll fire a 3. That goes. Josh Behrens had 5 points in the first half. Didn't score in the third quarter. Now has 8 points in the game. Blue looking for Mowry. Mowry can't hold on to it, and the ball is stolen away by Behrens. Another turnover by the Lady Bronx here to start this fourth quarter. Dinkle over to Coleman. Swing it over to Behrens in the corner. Now down low Dutcher. Double team comes. Blue ties it up. Jump ball. Every time Dutcher's getting that ball down low, somebody from the perimeter is diving in, making her think about her possession down there on the low block. And Cam Wagner, who's had a long rest on the bench with those 4 fouls, comes in for Kinley Ruby. The Lady Broncs, with Wagner and Hanift on the bench, they've done a pretty good job on the boards. Inbound pass goes to Behrens. She fires a 15-footer. Got it to go. 5 straight for the junior. She's the only Philly in double digits. 42-38, 8-point lead for the Broncs. Wagner over to Mowry in the half court. Mowry, top of the key, decides to dribble. Spin move. Gets toward the elbow. Hands off to Newton. Newton tries to dive into the paint. Behind the back dribble. Left hand. Bounce pass off to Mowry on the left wing. Mowry works to the top of the key. Swings it over to Tridy. Parker with it. Working against the taller Dutcher. Parker gets baseline. Passes off to Wagner. Wagner into the paint. Fires a little shot. Missed it. Offensive board. Up and in. Cam Wagner gets her own, collects her own rebound. Puts it up. She has 6 in the game. 44-34. 5:08 to go. 10-point lead for the Lady Broncs. Ball's poked out of bounds by Tridy. And Natrona keeps possession. Dinkel inbounding for Natrona. She finds Coleman. Coleman out near the Bronc head at half court. Working against this 2-3 zone with Blue and Tridy up on top. It's caused problems for Natrona all day. Pass goes to Dinkel. Dinkel tries to drive. Ball's poked away by Blue. It's on the floor. Wagner gives chase. Coleman gives chase. Coleman poked it away, and Natrona threw it away. It finally wound up in Dinkel's hands. She was looking for a cutting Behrens and threw it out of bounds along the baseline. Pass was like 3 feet high for Behrens. Behrens is decently tall. That pass was meant for an 8-footer. Pass goes off to Tridy. She's at the 3-point line in the half court. Now to Wagner. Wagner, one dribble, lost it. Ball's on the floor. We're going to call a walk as she tried to regain it while hopping toward the elbow. So another turnover by the Lady Broncs. Like I said, they did a great job in the third quarter. Third quarter was a very clean quarter for the Lady Broncs, and they went from being down 1 to up 14. Well, the fourth quarter has not been clean, and now the Lady Broncs are only up 10, and we have a timeout by Natrona. And it is it's actually the 30-second variety, so we'll keep it here. 44-34. The Broncs will take on Natrona next. It's the only home game you're going to see before Christmas break. Tomorrow night, the Broncs and the Lady Broncs head down to Casper and will take on Kelly Walsh. Again, neither of these games are conference games, as both Kelly Walsh and Natrona have moved over to the Western Conference when Cody moved down to 3A. Speaking of Cody, that's where head coach Chris Wagner came from. He got to 4 state championship games with the Cody Phillies in 6 years. 1-1, which capped off a 27-0 season. Lost to Cheyenne East 1 year. The only year beyond his first year that he did not make a state championship game was 2 years ago when the Lady Broncs knocked off the Phillies in the state semifinal. It's the only time he didn't make the state championship game. Last year, he made it with the 3A Phillies as they had moved down. Inbound pass goes to Behrens. Behrens lays it up, missed it. Wagner pulls in another rebound. Pass goes off to Blue, and Blue jogs it up the floor, stops at the volleyball line. She's guarded by Reese. Blue, back up dribble, back to the volleyball line, now spin move. Now she darts into the paint, left-hand layup off the glass. She's fouled. Ella Blue goes to the line to shoot 2. Blue, the leading scorer for the Lady Broncs, the only Lady Bronc in double digits, as she has 14. And Blue, last season, was a 66% free throw shooter. She's 2 of 4 here today. First one up and good. She has 15 points. Got that one to go. Kinley Ruby, Aaron Newton, Hannah Mowry, Cam Wagner on the floor for the Lady Broncs, as is Ella Blue, your free throw shooter. Substitution for Natrona. Barthel's back into the game. Dutcher goes back to the bench. Dutcher, a sophomore. Good size. Ella Blue's second free throw's up, and it does go. 16 points for the senior. She's a tennis player as well, was a #1 singles player for the Lady Bronc tennis team this year. Pass goes off to Barthel in the half court. Drop it down to Behrens. She'll fire a shot. I think Newton got a hand on it. It was airballed, but I think that was because of Newton's blocked shot, and the Lady Broncs come away with it. They get it to Blue. She crosses half court with a right-hand dribble on the left-hand side. She hands off to Newton. Newton works toward the top of the key, now around to the right wing as she gets a screen from Ruby. Newton looking for a little pass, a little dump off to Ruby. Swing it over, skip pass to Blue. Thought about the 3, puts a move on Reese. Into the paint, right-hand shot up and no good. And they're going to give Ella Blue a little continuation. She goes to shoot 2. It was definitely a foul. I was wondering if they were going to award Blue free throws or call it on the floor, but it's the 4th foul against Raina Reese. And the fourth team foul against Natrona in the fourth quarter, and Blue's back at the free throw line. Shot up, and that falls for the senior. Remember, Ella Blue missed her sophomore year with an ACL injury. She played varsity as a freshman and then lost her entire sophomore year. Was able to come back last year and become an all-stater for the Lady Broncs. Shot up and good for Ella Blue. 18 points in the game, 48-34. Lady Broncs lead by 14. 3:39 on the range scoreboard. Lady Broncs show full court zone pressure. Can't be handled by Calling, as it was a pretty good pass to Calling. She was cutting toward the sideline, couldn't handle it, lost it out of bounds, and Lady Broncs retake possession. Ruby inbounding for the Lady Broncs. Kinley with it. The junior skips it off to the senior Tridy, and Coach Wagner uses a timeout. I think he was a little worried about a 5-second call. 48-34, just a 30-second timeout, so we keep it here. Well, the Lady Broncs, 2-1 on the season. They have been sloppy, right, to start the season. That's really they've played well outside of the turnovers. They've rebounded well. They've defended well. They've taken good shots for the most part. They just, I mean, that's the one sticking point for the Lady Broncs early in the season is just need to take care of the basketball. 25 turnovers a game. That number needs to get down to 15 or 16 a game if you want to compete for a state championship, and I'm sure Coach Wagner is well aware of that. But the Lady Broncs played a really good Arvada West team on Saturday down in Casper. I mean, a very athletic team, and had a lead most of the first half. Played very well, and then the second half just could not hang on to the basketball. Wound up losing by 8 points against a very good Arvada West team. Kinley Ruby inbounding out of the timeout. Gets it off to Tridy. She's looking inside for Wagner. Nice little crossover dribble. Gets it to Wagner now. Shot up and good. Assist to Tridy. The senior-to-senior connection as Cam Wagner now has 8 points on the game. Playing with those 4 fouls. Basically didn't even play in the third quarter. Pass goes off to Dutcher. Now to Reese. Reese will fire. This is Ella Reese. That's no good. Rebound hauled in by Tridy. Tridy's hounded, and the ball's poked out of bounds by Barthel. Sheridan maintains possession. 50-34, a 16-point lead. 3:12 to go on the range scoreboard. Cam Wagner trying to inbound against full court pressure. Blue finally comes to the basketball, receives it, working against Reese. Blue, backup dribble now near half court. Blue dumps it off to Tridy. Tridy crosses half court, walked. It's a turnover by the Lady Broncs. Natrona 0-4 on the season, and Aaron Newton runs over the scorers table. The junior, who wears number 0, checks in for the junior Kinley Ruby. Newton, Wagner, Mowry, Blue, and Tridy on the floor. Raina Reese inbounds to Calling. Ava Calling dribbling the basketball. Bronx show man. And Mowry comes over, steals the basketball. Good help D by Mowry. She came over to create a double team. Just stole the ball right away from Calling, and now Blue walks it slowly up the court, gets across half court, now puts it into high gear, gets into the paint, kicks it out for Newton. Blue gets bumped to the floor, no call. Newton working around the perimeter, guarded by Raina Reese. Newton backup dribble all the way to the volleyball line. That's 30 feet from the hoop. Pass it off to Blue. Blue little spin. Tries to work through a double team, and we've got a foul. If that's on Raina Reese, I believe she's out of the game. I'll make it official. That's what I've got her for, but we'll check the scorebook. And actually, they get the foul. Get the foul on Ella Reese instead, so Ella with her third. Blue's at the line, though, to shoot free throws. It's been a bonus. That's the 5th foul on Natrona this quarter, so Blue can add to her game high of 18 points. Only one Natrona player in double digits. That's Joss Behrens, and she's right at 10. Blue's free throws up, and it goes. Well, Blue's done a nice job from the free throw line here tonight. 19 points for the senior. It's Mowry, Newton, Wagner, Tridy, and Blue on the floor. It's Ella Reese, Raina Reese, Dutcher, Calling, and Barthel on the floor for Natrona. Shot up, no good. Blue misses the second free throw, and the rebound's hauled in by Raina Reese. Kick it off to Calling. Calling's hounded by Tridy. Tridy's done a nice job defensively. We got a foul on Ella Blue. The Blue didn't like the call, but there was definitely some contact there. She was coming over to double team and fouled Calling. So Natrona keeps possession. It's Reese inbounding, and she almost throws it away. Calling runs it down. Tridy gives chase. Tridy all over Calling. As I was saying right before the foul happened, Tridy's done a good job defensively out front there for the Lady Broncs. Shot up, missed. Newton, good rebound. She's done a nice job on the glass. Pass goes off to Wagner. Wagner across half court, right side. Kick it off Mowry. Mowry reverse pivot, kick it to Newton, and with 2 minutes to go, the Lady Broncs lead by 17. Not a lot they need to do. They're up 51-34. Newton back up dribble near the volleyball line. Reese all over her. Little bounce pass off to Blue. Ball's poked away. This is Ella Reese guarding her. So Ella on Ella. Blue with it, and we have a timeout by Coach Wagner as the Lady Broncs just look a little bit out of sorts. They were able to keep possession, but it's a 51-34 game. Timeout by the Lady Broncs. You're listening to Lady Bronc basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
It's Wyoming. 1 minute you're melting like ice cream in August, the next you're colder than an ice fisherman's backside in January, and your dog's stolen all the blankets. Luckily, Carl's Heating and Air Conditioning has your backside. Carl knows Wyoming weather better than anyone. Then he'll keep your home comfy whether Brutus gives back those blankets or not. Call Carl's Heating and Air Conditioning today or find us in the Country Bounty Business Directory. Carl, making homes comfortable no matter how moody Wyoming weather gets.
This is Dr. Dana Leroy with Leroy Family Dental, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, 1:45 to go. Lady Broncs lead by 17. It's 51-34 on the range scoreboard. Out of the timeout, it's Ruby Reimers, Cam Wagner, Parker Tridy, Aaron Newton, and Ella Blue on the floor for the Lady Broncs. Lady Broncs possession. Aaron Newton to inbound on her half of the floor once Natrona comes out of the timeout break. They do. Ella Reese, Dutcher, Barthel, Coleman, and Raina Reese playing defense for Natrona. And for some reason, the officials say back to your benches. I'm not sure. Oh, we've got blood. I overheard one of the officials. We've got blood on the baseline, so we're going to keep it here. Lady Broncs and Broncs go to Casper tomorrow. They'll take on Kelly Walsh, and that'll do it for 2025. Then we get into the 2026 season, and that starts January 8th. January 8th is the next game. They'll have a tournament down in Cheyenne. Then they go to Cheyenne back-to-back weekends and play East and Central for the first conference games of the year. That's January 16th and 17th. The next home game for the Broncs and Lady Broncs will be January 23rd. That's a Friday night. They will take on Laramie. They'll take on the Lady Plainsmen and the Plainsmen. The next day they'll take on, I believe, Cheyenne South. Let me pull this up. Yep, Cheyenne South on the 24th. And then they'll host Campbell County to almost end January 30th. They'll get a home game against the Camels. Okay, blood's cleaned up. Newton inbounding, gets it to Wagner. And Lady Broncs just need to take care of it for the last minute 40. Newton passes off to Ruby Reimers. Reimers fires up a shot because the shot clock was winding down, and Reimers hit it. Ruby Reimers has shot well here in the early season. 6 points for the senior off the bench, 53-34. Coleman with it in the half court. Passes off to Reese. This is Ella. Ella passes off to Coleman. Coleman darts into the paint. Fires a shot up off the glass and good. Coleman, her first bucket. 53-36, a minute 15 to go. Blue crosses half court, guarded by Ella Reese. Blue working working left, rather. Now turns back right, now back left, and now she back up dribbles and gets it to Aaron Newton. She's guarded by Raina Reese. Newton, couple dribbles, hands off to Cam Wagner, who comes and gets it. We're under a minute to go here. Pass goes to Blue. Blue along the baseline. Jump pass over to Reimers. Corner three, left side. Bang! Ruby Reimers. 9 points in the game for Ruby, and she's got 2 threes here today, make it 6 on the season. She's shot a high percentage. Good start through the first 4 games for Reimers. And with 35 seconds left, Cam Wagner. No, actually, Dutcher traveled. It's like her 4th travel of the game. Thought they were going to actually whistle Cam Wagner for her 5th foul of the game, but it doesn't matter whether she got her 5th foul or not. She's out as we have a total line change. Kinley Ruby into the game. Maggie Brogdon, Hannah Mowry, Sarah Munn, and Avery Lagaki check in with 32 seconds to go. Lady Broncs can run this one out. They're up 20, 56-36. Pass goes to Ruby, man-to-man from Natrona. Now it goes off to Munn. Munn works around the perimeter. Little dribble weave from the Lady Bronx. Pass goes off to Mowry. She picks up her dribble near the corner, guarded by Dinkle. Now Brogdon, 16 seconds to go. Brogdon gets it poked away. Coleman stole it. Coleman up the right side, lay it up, and she has 4 points. 6 seconds to go. Brogdon with it. Brogdon throws a pass up the sideline to Munn. Now over to Ruby, who fires a 3 from 30 feet out. Missed, so the official score, Lady Bronx win by 18. 56-38. The pep band plays in the background, and the Bronx take the floor to warm up against the Mustangs. 56-38. Lady Bronx had an excellent third quarter. They took care of the basketball, which allowed them to get in a flow offensively, and they went from being down 1 to start the third quarter to up 14 at the end of the third quarter. Lady Bronx were led offensively in scoring by Ella Blue, who had 19 points. Cam Wagner, despite spending a decent amount of time on the bench with foul trouble, finishes with 8. Ruby Reimers had 9 points off the bench. Mesa Haniff finishes with 6. Remember, she didn't play after turning her ankle late in that second quarter, did not play in the second half. We hope everything's okay with Mesa. Aaron Newton finishes with 4, all of which came in the second half. Sarah Munn finished with 3 off the bench. Ruby Kinley added 4 points off the bench as well. So 19 for Ella Blue, 8 for Wagner, 9 for Ruby Reimers. Those are your 3 leading scorers for the Lady Bronx in that one. They run their record to 3-1 on the season. Natrona falls to 0-5. And we've got a boys game upcoming. Bronx are going to take on Natrona. This should be a physical game. Natrona historically has played physical. Sheridan doesn't shy away from playing physical. And Natrona had some struggles last season, but they were always competitive. And they return a heck of a lot of experience here tonight, even though they don't have but one senior. They played a lot of sophomores last year, a couple freshmen, and there's a whole load of juniors back for this year in Natrona. The boys are 3-1 on the season. Our boys, the Sheridan boys, are 2-1 on the season. And we'll get into that game after we hear from some of our great sponsors. We'll take an extended break. Come back with your Bronx pregame. Once again, Lady Bronx win 56-38. They are 3-1 on the season. Thank you for listening to Lady Bronx Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM. Bronx game upcoming.
Dad, what truck survives Wyoming winters?
The Silverado, Bob. We have all the new ones, 1500, 2500, and 3500 HD. Pick the muscle you need.
Snow, mud, mountains, the Silverado just shrugs and says not a problem, huh?
Strong engines, smart tech, comfort, built to work.
And built to make me look good?
Let's not promise the impossible, Bob.
Hey, folks, come on down and find your 2026 Silverado today.
Waring Chevrolet, 107 East Alger, or go online at waringsheridan.com.
As Christmas carols fill the air with angelic voices,
as church bells ring,
and the Star of David shines brightly,
we remember the true meaning of this blessed time of year.
Merry Christmas! Hi, this is Elizabeth.
And I'm JT Kraft.
We at EBA Hearing would like to wish you and your family a Christmas filled with peace and memories of that little manger in Bethlehem.
May your heart be filled with the Holy Spirit as the angels sing.
Merry Christmas from the Kraft and EBA families, providing better hearing in Northeast Wyoming for over 25 years.
You know what makes a big difference in life?
I know, making smart money choices.
That's why First Federal Bank and Trust partners with local schools and organizations to teach financial basics.
They make it fun and interactive with free materials, bank tours, and real conversations.
And we tailor everything to fit your classroom or group.
I want to get started right now.
You can learn more at efirstfederal.bank. First Federal Bank and Trust.
Investing in strong financial futures.
This shop is one of a kind in Buffalo, Wyoming, featuring 6 full fifth wheel hookups that you can rent out as the property is zoned B1. The shop is furnished and also includes appliances. There are sleeping rooms, a kitchen, dining area, and 2 bathrooms. Call me for a tour, Christy Kinghorn, with Buffalo Realty ERA Powered at 620-0037 or see 202 Balsam at buffalorealtyllc.com.
At First Bank of Wyoming, you will always talk to a real person like me. Hi, my name is Dee Crawford, and our team is here to answer your questions, offer guidance, and provide personalized solutions. Because you deserve a bank that puts you first. Stop by or call us today. First Bank of Wyoming, banking made personal.
First Bank of Wyoming, division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC.
At Camco Federal Credit Union, we offer all the banking functions you need with the personal touch you deserve. From our rewards checking and our share certificates to convenient online banking with our mobile app. Whether you need to remote deposit a check, pay a bill, or transfer funds, we make it easy. And when you need to talk to a real person, our friendly team is ready to assist you. Visit one of our branches or call us today at 307-682-6105. Camco Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, and equal housing lender.
Need screen printed and embroidered items? Well, whatever you need, Kilpatrick Creations is the go-to local company for these types of items. If it's screen printed or stitched, we are the ones to help you. Give us a call first. We're here to help you and want to help you with your imprinted garment or accessory needs. We've been in the business and serving Sheridan County for over 20 years. We have the experience, talent, and selection of goods that allows us to help you promote your business, club, or event in the best, most affordable way possible. Come see Kilpatrick Creations for all your screen printed or embroidered needs.
Building or remodeling your home or commercial space can be overwhelming. With so many decisions to make, choosing the right contractor matters. At North Country Construction, we believe you deserve a team you can trust. From initial planning and site work to concrete and final touches, we handle the entire process with a decade of quality in the Sheridan area that speaks for itself. When only the best will do, call North Country Construction, 307-461-2896.
One Health in Sheridan provides medical care, mental health, and other support services for the whole family. Our whole person approach serves children, adults, and seniors, and we accept patients with private insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, and no insurance. From childhood immunizations and wellness checks to substance use treatment, visit One Health for same-day availability and an income-based sliding fee. Visit onechc.org/Sheridan for more information.
In a place where honesty and hard work define us, there's a bank that's fully invested in Wyoming. The banks of Buffalo, Gillette, and Sheridan. We understand that business owners are the backbone of our communities. And whether you run a ranch, a restaurant, or a retail store, we're here to support you with a range of account options and personalized services without all the unexpected fees. Because when your business succeeds, our communities thrive. Visit buffalofed.bank for all your business banking needs. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Patrick Johnson with Stifel Financial, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki as the Bronx home opener. Your 2-1 Sheridan Bronx, your number 1 ranked Sheridan Bronx, take on Natrona County here tonight. Natrona 3-1. Sheridan, last weekend, down in Casper, played Douglas, beat them by 20. Played Riverton, beat them by 27. And then played an Arvada West team from Colorado, and Sheridan didn't know what hit them in the first half. They went down 8-24 in the first quarter. Didn't play great in the second quarter. To Sheridan's credit, played much, much better in that second half and wound up making it a reasonable game in the second half. It was 44-61 was the final score, but Sheridan hadn't seen that athleticism and that strength, maybe. Athleticism combined with strength. And I think if Sheridan had to play that Arvada West team again, it would be a much more competitive battle, but they were kind of shell-shocked in that third day of the tournament when Arvada West came out and put it on them early going. So the only stumble Sheridan had early in the season is to an out-of-state team, but they're going to have to play well tonight against a team we anticipate is going to be pretty physical. Natrona's 3-1 this season. Natrona also lost to the same Arvada West team that Sheridan lost to. Natrona lost 48-64. Natrona blew out Worland. They beat Douglas by 9, and they blew out Cody by 23. So this is a Natrona team, like I said, that have some returners from last year. They're a physical team. They don't have much size. I mean, they've got a couple kids, but not a ton of size. So I think that's one place Sheridan can have the advantage. The other thing with Sheridan is Sheridan's so efficient. Natrona last year was not that efficiently offensively. However, in looking at stats, and stats can lie, particularly only 4 games in for Natrona, because it's such a small sample size, but Natrona's shooting the ball 45% from the floor. So that's a marked improvement over what they were last year, and that is very efficient. For a team to shoot 45% overall in high school basketball is really, really good. So we'll see what Natrona has. We'll see if maybe they just felt good in that opening tournament. I don't know if Orland's terribly strong. I thought Douglas was a good team when Sheridan played Douglas, and Natrona beat them by 9. And Cody's supposed to be a pretty good 3A team this year over on the boys' side. So Natrona, 2 of the 3 victories were pretty darn good, and then of course that loss to Arvada. So we'll see. A lot of returners, like I said, for Natrona. They have some athletes. They don't have a lot of size, and I think between the height and the length and honestly the strength of Sheridan, they should have a little bit of an advantage here. And of course Sheridan's playing at home, but should be a fun one. I think Natrona's definitely going to compete over on the west side this year. I think they should compete for that 1 or 2 seed over on the west. Things can happen, barring injury. We don't want anybody to get injured, but of course that could change a team's season, or if somebody's out for an extended period of time during conference play, that could change a season. But I think it should be a fun one, and hopefully things don't get chippy. Like I said, Natrona does like to play physical, and I think Sheridan doesn't back down from physical play, so hopefully it doesn't get chippy, but be fun to see a good solid game out of these two here tonight. We look at the Broncs individually. They're led by head coach Jeff Martini. He is the winningest head coach in Sheridan Bronc history on the boys' side. And he has a team full of experience. If you did not listen to our broadcast down in Casper, I do want to interrupt myself for a second and just remind you that if you are listening on the radio, these games are live streamed on SheridanMedia.com, on Sheridan Media's YouTube page, and on Sheridan Media's Facebook page. So if you'd like to watch the game, Coleman Hanchett does a great job videotaping these games and or live streaming these games. So if you have access to something that you can watch, if you're not driving, you're not in the car, turn it on, because it's a lot of fun. You still get the audio, but it's a lot of fun. So flip over there if you want to watch the Broncs. If you didn't make it out tonight, it's the only home game the Broncs will get before Christmas. Next home game is toward the end of January. When they take on Laramie. But we were going to talk. I interrupted myself. I was going to speak individually about the Broncs and this weekend. And they offensively, from a scoring standpoint, were led by Nate Miner. That's not a surprise. Miner was the second leading scorer in the state last year in 4A. He's averaging almost 22 points a game to start the season through 3 games. One of the things that's been impressive with Nate, though, is, again, it's early in the season, it's a small sample size, but he is averaging over 3.5 steals per game as well, and he's picking his spots where he can jump those passing lanes and get some easy runouts. Johnny Spielman, who didn't play a lot as a sophomore last year to start the season, he was one of the bench players that would come in a little bit. He earned more and more and more minutes as last season went on, and he's had a heck of a first 3 games for the Broncs. He's in double digits in points, but more importantly, he's averaging 6 rebounds a game and more than 3 steals a game as well. So Johnny's done a really nice job this his junior year, but he like I said, he turned it on. Got a lot more playing time off the bench the second half of last season, and he and Miner are the 2 players from the Broncs that are averaging in double digits in terms of points. Tanner Hamrick averages 5.5 points. Braden Brutlog is averaging 6 points. Breck Reed averaging 5.5 points. Beck Haswell, who got in some foul trouble, averaging 2.5 points to start the season, but Haswell's chipping in 4 rebounds a game and shooting a high percentage as well. As a team, the Broncs are out-rebounding their opponents by 5 and averaging 14 assists per game, so they are sharing the ball well. That's not a surprise. The Broncs, the last couple seasons, have done an excellent job of being unselfish and having passing up a good shot to get to a great shot, and it wouldn't surprise me if you see more of that this season, especially with the experience that they return. It's an unselfish team. And speaking of the experience, they returned 4 starters from last year. They returned 9 guys that got varsity time last year. And it's a team with a lot of seniors and juniors that get playing time. Broncs are ranked number 1 in the state. They were coming into the season. They've maintained that ranking through the first weekend, and high expectations for the Broncs this year. It's pretty nice. You know, things, you anticipate it's going to be a good season when Braden Brutlog, who was an all-conference player last year, might actually be coming off the bench a good chunk of the season, right? He's a junior. He's a lefty. He's very efficient scorer. I mean, they're filled with depth. They're filled with length. You look at their bench, Alex Osborne, Riley Friday, and Colton Patterson all have a lot of length. And length is hard to combat if you're an opponent on offense because there are long arms. It's hard to get passing lanes. It's hard to make crisp passes. You're always having to set up your pass because of the length. And I mean, Patterson goes about 6'5", Osborne 6'5", 6'6", Friday like 6'3", Nate Miner 6'4", Johnny Spielman like 6'5", 6'6". It's just it's a lot of length for Wyoming high school basketball, and we anticipate that it's going to create problems for a lot of teams this season. And really, as good as the Broncs are offensively, and I talk about them offensively, they give great effort on the defensive end, and that's really where everything starts for the Broncs, is just making things rough on your opponents. And then if you're, they'll certainly try to play up tempo when they can, but they're very well, they're okay playing a little slower pace game in the half court, and like I said, trying to get from a good shot to a great shot. And we are ready for the national anthem, so we'll take a break and come back with your starting lineups. You're listening to Bronc Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and Sheridan pride. Your Broncs are back in the court, and 7P Builders is proud to back the team that plays with heart, hustle, and true Wyoming grit, on and off the court. When it comes to your home, 7P Builders specialize in siding, decks, roofing, and gutters, plus new builds and remodels. Craftsmanship that stands strong season after season. Call 307-763-3202 to set up your appointment, or check us out at 7pbuilders.com. From the sidelines to your neighborhood, 7P Builders says go Broncs.
Hi, Mom. I brought dinner.
Oh, please tell me it's one of those big, horny casseroles. Nothing tastes as good as Big Hornies.
Yes, Mom. I brought 2. And remember, it's the Big Horn Y. It's not all one word.
I don't care what they call themselves. Just keep bringing their food.
Unforgettable food. Unfortunate Facebook address. Call ahead for made to order or pick up in the store. Find us on Facebook at, Big Horn Y.
This is Bailey Reddy with Sheridan Physical Therapy, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. Your final reminder that this game is being live streamed on SheridanMedia.com. So if you want to watch the video along with the audio, flip over there, take your phone or your tablet or your smart TV, and watch Sheridan Media's live stream of this game. Starting lineups being announced for Natrona. Starting for Natrona, junior Cooper Rogers. He wears number 1. Sophomore Garrett Paddock. He wears number 2. Garrett is the son of head coach Kurt Paddock. Josiah Coleman is a junior. He wears number 4. Number 13, Orrin Williams, is also a junior. And the final starter is the lone senior for Natrona, the lone senior on the team, Gavin Paddock. Leading scorer for Natrona in the early season is Josiah Coleman, about 14 points a game. For the Broncs, senior Tanner Hamrick wears number 2. He'll play a wing primarily, run some point for the Broncs. Breck Reed is a senior. He wears number 4. He'll play some point, mostly point. Johnny Spielman's a junior. He wears number 11, goes about 6'5", 6'6". Beck Haswell wears number 14. He's your Gatorade Football Player of the Year this last fall. He is headed to Wyoming on a football scholarship to play with brother Alex. And Nate Miner, senior, wearing number 24, averaging almost 22 points a game for the Broncs through 3 games. Johnny Spielman will jump it up in the middle. It's junior versus sophomore. Spielman will jump it up against Paddock, Garrett Paddock. Gavin Paddock's the senior. He wears number 23. Garrett Paddock, number 2, is a sophomore. 3-man officiating crew. Natrona Road Blacks with white and orange trim, orange numerals. Broncs in their home whites, blue numbers, blue trim. Tip 1 by Spielman to Hamrick. And the clock starts. We are playing with a shot clock here tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Spielman with it on the left wing in the half court up to Minor. Minor looking down low, threw it away. Tried to get the bounce pass inside. Orrin Williams jumped the passing lane, and it's a turnover right away by the Bronx. Williams with it. He's guarded man-to-man by Minor. Gets it off to Coleman. He'll fire a three over Spielman. That's good. Josiah Coleman starts off with a three from the right wing, and the Bronx go down 3. 30 seconds into the game. Breck Reed with it. Guarded by Coleman. Man-to-man from Natrona. Breck Reed drives baseline. Picks up his dribble. Off to Haswell. Swing it over Spielman. He'll try to answer with a three. Top of the key. Bang! Johnny Spielman with 3. 3-3. 7:18 to go. A pair of triples from one from each side has us knotted up. Pass goes to Rogers. Rogers a junior. Left-hand dribble. Swing it over left side. Paddock. This is Gavin. He's the senior. Gavin working against Hamrick, off to brother Garrett. Garrett guarded by Haswell on the perimeter, right wing. Move it up top, swing it back to Gavin. Gavin into the paint. Goes in for the shot, and he's fouled. Foul called on the baseline. Tanner Hamrick with a reach in. That sends Gavin Paddock to the line. Gavin averaging just under 5 points a game in the early going, averages 5 rebounds a game as well. Hasn't been to the line much, just 3 of 8 through the first 4 games. Remember, Natrona's played 4, Sheridan's played 3. Paddock's first free throw is up and it goes. Spielman, Hamrick, Minor, Haswell, and Reed on the floor for the Bronx. Paddock's second free throw up, also good. 3-5, Bronx trail by 2. Minor inbounds to Reed, and Natrona falls back. They show full court pressure, then they fall back into half court, man-to-man. Reed brings it across half court, passes right side Hamrick. He's looking inside for Haswell. Nothing there, goes to Minor. Minor fakes the three. He's guarded by Gavin Paddock. Minor, back up dribble, stripped away. 2 turnovers by Minor in the early going. Paddock down. This is Gavin. Lay it up and missed the bunny. Oh, he had a wide open layup right side, right in front of the student section, and Beck Haswell comes up with the rebound. Hands off to Reed. And Reed pushes it with 28 on the shot clock. 6:27 to go on the game clock. Pass goes to Spielman. Kick it out Haswell. He'll fire a three. Left side, left wing, no good. Rebound, and the foul goes against Tanner Hamrick. He went over the back of Cooper Rogers. So Hamrick picks up his second foul in 1:40. He'll be subbed out, I'm sure. Yep, Braden Brutlog checks in. So the senior Hamrick checks out. Brutlog checks in. Bronx show full court man. Inbound pass goes to Coleman. Spielman picks him up in the full court. Coleman working right. Gets across half court. Dribbles behind his back. Loses it. Spielman got a hand on it. Forced the turnover. Breck Reed came up with the ball and then was run over by Josiah Coleman. So foul against Coleman. First foul against Natrona here in the first quarter. Good D by Johnny Spielman. Well, Spielman he makes a lot of hustle plays. That play, he just got his hand in front of Coleman on the crossover dribble, was able to knock it away. Reed came up with it, and Coleman knocked him down chasing the ball. Brutlog handles the point this possession, gets across half court, kicks it off right wing Reed. Reed working against Coleman, gets a step on Coleman, fires a shot, blocked away by Garrett Paddock. Garrett up to Gavin. Brother back to Garrett. Garrett working down low, stopped on the baseline by Haswell. Picks up his dribble, passes it off to Gavin. Gavin hands off to Cooper Rogers, and Rogers starts the offense, or settles the offense, passes it off to Gavin Paddock. He's on the right wing, guarded by Minor. Ball over his head now, will dribble left-handed. Works all the way to the top of the key, hands off to Rogers. Rogers resets. Reed guarding him. Rogers gets a step, gets toward the low block, kicks it off to Coleman. Coleman on the wing. Kick it out Rogers. He'll fire a three as he got a screen from Coleman up, no good. Spielman, great box out on Williams. He hauls in the rebound, gets it off to Brutlog, up the right sideline to Reed. Reed penetrates, Euro step, fires a shot, blocked away by Williams. Ball saved. Gavin Paddock comes up with it. Gavin across half court. Paddock into the lane, low block, nice pass. Give the assist to Gavin Paddock. Lay it up and in. Josiah Coleman. 3-7. Bronx trail by 4. Riley Friday takes his warm-up off and heads over to the scorer's table. He'll check in at the next dead ball. Pass goes to Haswell. Skip pass to Spielman. 3-point line, left wing. Handed off. Reed, top of the key. Bronx setting screens all around. They set up Brutlog for a three. Doesn't take it. Looks inside for Haswell instead. Mismatch. Haswell working against the much shorter Rogers. Great pass from Haswell to Minor, and Minor missed another bunny. He laid it up off the glass, something Minor typically makes. Laid it off the glass. It rolled around the entirety of the cylinder and fell out. Rebound to Natrona. 3-7. Bronx trail by 4. First quarter of action. In the half court, Rogers kicks it off to Gavin Paddock. He's guarded by Brutlog. Paddock crossover dribbling, stops at the three-point line. Now works right, gets a screen. Haswell comes over to help. Hand off to Coleman. Coleman stops at the free throw line, fires a shot over Haswell. That does not go. Paddock with the tip, no good. That was Garrett Paddock. Couldn't get it to go. Brutlog saves it from going out of bounds. Reed comes up with it, and Cooper Rogers pushed him in the back. Foul against Natrona. 3-7, Bronx trail by 4. 4:06 on your range scoreboard. Riley Friday in, Breck Reed out. Minor, Brutlog, Friday, Patterson also into the game, and Spielman for the Bronx. Brutlog across half court, guarded by Rogers, man-to-man. Brutlog working right sideline. The Bronx work right to left across your radio dial. Brutlog gets a screen from Friday, and it's a moving screen, says the official. So an offensive foul or a ball control foul against Riley Friday, who just checked into the game, the junior. He's the leading scorer off the bench for the Bronx, averaging 5.5 points off the bench through 3 games. Gavin Paddock inbounding, gets it off to the right side, Carter Cox. Cox up the right sideline, guarded by Brutlog. They both wear number 3. Now double team comes. It's Friday and Brutlog all over Cox. Kick it off to Gavin Paddock. Gavin skip past to brother Garrett, senior to sophomore. The sophomore with it. Garrett between the leg dribble, working against the senior Patterson. Lay it up and in. Nice little move from Garrett Paddock. He has 2 points. Garrett, a sophomore, averaging 10.5 points a game. Bronx are down 6, 3-9. Spielman handles the point this possession. Crosses half court, gets a step on Coleman, gets into the paint. Little layup, left hand, no good. Rebound bounces around. Minor runs it down almost. Nope, tipped away by Gavin Paddock. Gavin Paddock, little bounce pass to Coleman. Actually, Paddock walked. Oh, he was chased that ball down 50 feet away. And then he had a little bounce pass for Coleman, but he traveled before he gave up the ball. Bronx are fortunate to not give up a layup there. Down 6. 3:17 to go on your range scoreboard. Brutlog working against Cox. Carter Cox is a junior. He D's up Brutlog. Pass goes off to Spielman. Spielman working against man, gets a screen from Friday. Pass it off to Brutlog, right wing. Brutlog, right-hand dribble. Gets baseline. We've got a body called against Carter Cox, or a hand check. Actually a forearm. It's really a forearm more than anything. As Brutlog got a step on him, he put his right forearm on Brutlog's body. Spielman checks out. Haswell's back into the game. Haswell, Minor, Friday, Patterson, and Brutlog. Inbound pass to Patterson, swing it over Haswell. Haswell right wing, swing it over Minor. Open 3, left side, bang, Nate Minor. 3 points for the senior. 9-6 is your score. Bronx trail by 3. 2:45 to go on the range scoreboard. Coleman crosses half court, gets to the volleyball line, approaches the three-point line on the right wing. Patterson on him, kick it off to Paddock. This is Garrett. Garrett between the leg dribble, guarded by Haswell. Back up dribble. Oh, nice pass to Oren Williams. Lay it up and no good. In and out. Friday pulls in the rebound. Brutlog tried to take a charge on Williams. There was contact, no whistle either way. Sheridan clears out the rebound. Brutlog across half court, working right side near the sideline. Kicks it off to Patterson, right corner. Patterson working against Coleman, now to Friday, right wing, guarded by Williams. Friday looking inside, kicks it on the wing to Brutlog. One dribble, steps in, fires an 18-footer, short. Rebound, Gavin Paddock, up to Coleman. Coleman, bounce pass to Garrett Paddock. Garrett, lay it up off the glass. No good, no good. Rebound tipped. Garrett had a tip in that did not go. Haswell clears out the rebound to Minor, then to Haswell, now to streaking Friday. Oh, Natrona didn't do a good job running the floor. Riley Friday has his first points on the assist from Haswell. 8-9. Bronx trail by 1. Gavin Paddock with it, top of the key. Gavin working against Haswell. Gets a step. Kicks it off Williams. Williams, left-hand dribble. Thought about the 3, doesn't take it. Minor on him. Pass goes to Gavin Paddock. Paddock swings it over to Williams, looking for a cutter. Nothing there. Williams decides to drive against Minor. Minor cuts him off. Williams, reverse pivot, open 3. Garrett Paddock, right wing, off the back iron. No good. Minor hauls in a rebound. Minor averaging 4 rebounds a game here in the early season. Minor working against Paddock. This is the senior Paddock. Minor drives into the paint. Coleman steps in, tries to take a charge, gets called for a block. Sheridan keeps possession. That's the 4th team foul against Natrona this quarter. Alex Osborne is off the bench to the scorer's table. He checks in. Breck Reed checks back in as well. Set the floor for the Bronx. Breck Reed is inbounding. Beck Haswell and Nate Minor are on the low blocks. Alex Osborne and Riley Friday are on the elbows, 15 feet away from the hoop. Natrona makes a late sub as Cooper Rogers back into the game. Reed inbounds it to Haswell, now to Osborne, the senior. Left-hand dribble. Off to the right wing, Haswell. Now to Reed, top of the key, working against Paddock. Off to Haswell. He'll fire his second three of the game, and he hits his first one. Beck Haswell with a three. 1 for 2 in the game for Haswell, and the Bronx have a lead, 11-9. 51 seconds to go. Reed D'ing up Rogers. Rogers kicks it off to Williams, swing it over to Cox. Cox 30 feet from the hoop, passes it off to Rogers. He dribbles right-handed, passes it over to Garrett Paddock. Paddock dribbling, reverse dribbling. Friday, good defense. Now Paddock gets a step, laid off the window, up and no good. Rebound, good rebound, hauled in by Beck Haswell. Haswell averaging just under 5 rebounds a game. Quickly up the floor to Osborne, right-hand layup up and in, and the senior Alex Osborne has a basket. 13-9 is your score. Inbound pass to Cox, guarded by Minor. Full court pressure from the Bronx. It's man-to-man. 15 seconds on the clock now as Natrona crosses half court. Cox working against Minor. He pokes it away. Ball's on the floor. Minor dives on it. Rogers dives on it, but Minor had his right shoulder on the sideline, so it's not a jump ball. It's Natrona possession. Minor with those quick hands poked that ball away, dove on the floor, but his right shoulder touched the left sideline. Cox inbounding. He's a junior. Finds the senior Gavin Paddock. Gavin with it. 3. He's guarded by Haswell. Kick it off to Rogers. 3, right wing. Fires it up. No good. And we have a foul call on Breck Reed, who bumped into him as he was landing. So Breck Reed, bad foul. He was coming out. He was screened on that play. He was coming out to try to challenge the three-pointer. And he just made too much contact with Rogers, so the quarter technically is not over, even though there's zeros on the scoreboard. Cooper Rogers is at the free throw line to shoot 3. Missed that free throw, the first one. He has 2 more upcoming. 13-9 is your score. 2 free throws for Rogers. He fires and misses that one as the band plays. (13-9). Third free throw upcoming. Right in front of the student section for Sheridan. He does hit that one. So officially, now the quarter ends and Natrona trails 13-10 to your Sheridan Bronx. We'll come back with your second quarter of action. You're listening to Bronx Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
It's that time of year when we all reflect on our good fortune and good friends. And the folks at Farmers Co-op of Sheridan wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. They want to take this time to thank you, their valued customer, for all your continued patronage and friendship. May you and your family find health, happiness, and prosperity now and throughout the year to come. Farmers Co-op, owned by those they serve at 1450 Coffeen Avenue in Sheridan.
This is Dr. Michelle Meehan, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. Well, the late foul to end the quarter doesn't hurt the Bronx too badly, as Cooper Rogers was only able to convert 1 free throw. 13-10 is where the score sits on the range scoreboard. Bronx lead by 3 as we start this second quarter. Breck Reed, a senior, Johnny Spielman, a junior, Alex Osborne, a senior, Riley Friday, a junior, and Beck Haswell, a senior, on the floor for the Bronx. It's Garrett Paddock, Cooper Rogers, Gavin Paddock, Carter Cox, and Orrin Williams on the floor for Natrona. Natrona ball to start. Rogers with it in the half court, guarded by Reed. Double team comes from Haswell, stolen by Friday. Good double team. Friday jumped it, jam it down. Not a lay-in, a dunk-in for Riley Friday as he goes down all alone and gives the Bronx a 5-point lead. Paddock with it in the half court. That's Gavin. Gavin hands off to Rogers. Rogers guarded by the much, much taller Osborne. Pass goes out to Garrett Paddock, guarded by Friday. He's 28 feet from the hoop. Garrett looking for brother Gavin. Kick it off to the corner, Cox. He runs baseline, threw it away. Good hands by the Bronx. There's that length getting in the passing lanes, and Haswell comes up with it. Tries a bounce pass to a cutting Spielman. Pass goes out of bounds. And a turnover by the Bronx. Well, Haswell's made a couple real nice passes here in this first half. That one just out in front of Johnny Spielman, who honestly might have been getting held a little bit as he was trying to streak to the lane. Inbound pass goes to Cox. Natrona with the basketball, down 5. First time we've seen Cooper Cox in the game. He's a junior. Cooper has the basketball. Cooper and Carter Cox. One wears 3, one wears 5, and we have a 10-second call as neither of the Coxes get the ball across half court. Well, we've got a couple Paddocks, a couple Cox. and one Williams on the floor for Natrona. Reed inbounding for Sheridan. Reed looking for cutters. Nothing there. Kicks it out to the perimeter. That's Friday. He's on the left wing. Overhead pass to Osborne. 18 feet away. Pass it off to Haswell. Fakes the three. Dribbles to the free throw line. Kicks it off to Osborne. Right wing. Over to Reed. Reed penetrates in the lane. Ball stripped away by Cooper Cox and out of bounds. Sheridan keeps possession. Well, we are playing with a shot clock. The shot clock will be instituted next year officially for every game, every 3A and 4A game. Non-conference games have the option of getting a shot clock or not. We are playing with one here. Inbound pass goes to Reed, swings it over to Friday. He fires a three, no good. Spielman offensive board. Spielman put back, blocked away, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Spielman. Shot clock really wasn't a factor in the girls' game at all. Likely won't be a factor here today either, as it's 35-second shot clock. Most offenses typically happen within 35 seconds. It's usually only toward the end of game or end of half action that you see the ball spend that much time. Natrona with it in the half court. It's Gavin Paddock. Kick it out to Cooper Cox. Swing it over Carter Cox. Now to Garrett Paddock. Garrett will fire a long 2 foot on the line. He got it to go. Has 4 points in the game. Does the sophomore. And it's 15-12. Bronx lead. Reed quickly across half court. Kick it to the corner. Friday drives baseline. Got a step on Paddock. Fires a shot. He's fouled from behind. Williams got his left arm. Paddock might have got his right arm. We'll see who the official call is against. They do get Garrett Paddock for the foul. Like I said, Williams got his left arm. Paddock got his right arm, and they whistle number 2, which is the sophomore Garrett Paddock. Riley Friday's at the line to shoot 2. He has 4 points off the bench for the Bronx. Tanner Hamrick came out of the game quickly with 2 very quick fouls. So Friday's got a lot of minutes here in the first half. Missed the first free throw. Tanner Hamrick's into the game, as is Braden Brutlog. Hamrick's playing with those 2 fouls. So Hamrick and Haswell are on the free throw lane. Friday's at the free throw line, and Brutlog and Spielman are in the back court. Second free throw is up and good for Riley Friday. He has 5 points in the game and now is 6 of 9 from the free throw line early in this season. He's 1 of 2 here tonight. 16-12, Bronx lead by 4, 6:03 to go. Brutlog, Hamrick, Spielman, Miner, and Haswell on the floor. In the half court, Natrona, they're looking, the Paddocks were trying to make a connection, and Garrett threw it out of bounds, or Gavin threw it out of bounds. He was looking for Garrett, younger brother Garrett. Bronx basketball after the turnover. Brutlog jogs it up to the volleyball line, now walks it across half court, passes left to Spielman. He's on the left wing. Now up top, Haswell looking inside for Miner, who is posting up. Ball stolen away by Gavin Paddock. Turnover by the Bronx. Gavin cross half court to the three-point line, hands off to Williams. One dribble, swing it over to Cox. This is Carter Cox. He looks to the low block. It was a bad pass. Williams got a hand on it. It bounced off the glass, and the Bronx come away with possession. Brutlog quickly across half court to Spielman in the corner. Spielman jab step. Skip pass to Hamrick. Hamrick on the three-point line, drives in, backs up. Now goes to Spielman on the perimeter. Spielman lowers his shoulder. Cox got in front of him. That was Cooper Cox. We have a blocking foul on Cooper. Cooper didn't like that call. But the foul goes against number 5 for Natrona. Second team foul this quarter against Natrona. And Cooper Rogers checks into the game for Carter Cox. Rogers, the starting point guard for Natrona, averages just under 9 points a game. He's back into the game. Brutlog, inbound pass to Miner. He'll fire a 3, right wing, no good. Williams hauls in the rebound, hands off to Rogers. Rogers up the left sideline. Natrona is working right to left across your radio dial. Rogers fires it off to the right side. Cooper Cox, he's hounded by Brutlog. Get it off to Garrett Paddock. The sophomore working against Miner, and Miner fouls him out at the three-point line. Put 2 hands on him, so a hand check goes against the senior Miner. 4:57 to go on the range scoreboard. We're in the second quarter of action. Bronx leads 16-12. The Lady Bronx improved their record to 3-1 on the season with a victory over Natrona about half hour ago. Lady Bronx didn't play a great first half, had a really nice third quarter, and ran away with the game. Rogers collects the inbound pass, gets it off to Garrett Paddock. He drives baseline, runs over Beck Haswell, who was just camped underneath. Might as well have had a tent underneath there. He was standing right in the paint. Paddock just ran right over him. Picks up his second foul of the game. We'll see if he gets subbed out. Late sub comes to the scorer's table. It's Carter Cox into the game, and indeed, Garrett Paddock does check out. with that second foul here in the first half. Minor inbounding against full court pressure from Natrona. Gets it to Haswell, back to Minor, and Minor will operate the point. Speeds up, goes left, pushes off a little bit. Little nice move, gets it off to Brutlog. Open three, left side, no good. He left it short. Rebound goes to Natrona. Carter Cox with it. Crosses half court. He does not have numbers. It's 1-on-4. Good job by the Bronx getting back. Little shovel pass goes off to Rogers, right side. Rogers works around to the top of the key, swing it all the way over to the left side. Cooper Cox. Cooper to Carter. This is Carter Cox, a junior. Right-hand dribble, ball's poked out of bounds. Spielman got a finger on it, then Rogers got a finger on it, and it's out of bounds on Natrona. Sheridan basketball. 16-12, Bronx lead by 4. 4:16 to go here in the first half. Brutlog handling the point guard duties this possession. He crosses half court working against Cooper Cox. Pass goes right to Hamrick. Now to Spielman. Swing it over left side to Haswell, left wing. Ball over his head. Looks back to the top of the key. Gets it to Spielman. Swing it over right wing. Brutlog. Brutlog. Between the leg dribble. He's guarded by Rogers. Now they post up Spielman. He gets it to him. Spielman, low block. Kick it out. Haswell. Fakes the three. Williams, good closeout. Haswell, couple dribbles. Now gets baseline. Picks up his dribble. Now just has to outlet it out to Johnny Spielman, and Spielman will start it again. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Spielman dribbles up, fires a three, no good. Offensive board, Beck Haswell up and in. He got the putback. Beck Haswell, good job attacking the rim as he knew Spielman was going to shoot with 3 on the shot clock. Nobody boxed him out, and Haswell has 5. Paddock with it, kicks it off to Cox, now to Rogers. Rogers right side, guarded by Hamrick with those 2 fouls. Hamrick keeps his hands off, passes it off to Cox. This is Carter Cox. Swing it over to Gavin Paddock, left side. He's the senior Paddock brother. And the ball stolen by Johnny Spielman. Got his hands on it. Bad pass by Paddock. And Hamrick comes up with it. Gets it off to Spielman. Spielman drives the paint. Kicks it out baseline. And Brutlog drives. Lay it up right-handed and in. Well, the lefty switched it over to his right hand. A little floater from the baseline. Got it to go. And the Bronx lead by 8. Up to Cox, lazy pass, he runs it down. Cox stops on the low block, turns his back, throws it off of the shin of Paddock. Now to Hamrick. Hamrick one-on-one against Williams, lay it up and in. Tanner Hamrick, his first points. Well, defense leading to offense for the Bronx, and Coach Kurt Paddock would like a word with his young men. 22-12 is your score. Bronx lead by 10. You're listening to Bronx, but actually it's a 30-second timeout. We will not take a break. Coach Paddock and Coach Martini talk to his guys out on the floor as you do not go to your benches during these quick timeouts. But Paddock, the Bronx have forced Natrona into some turnovers here the last few possessions, and it's led to the Bronx taking a 10-point lead with 2:48 to go. So one of the things with the Bronx, they played a really good Douglas team, or at least a team, in my opinion. I only saw them play one game. Let's keep that in mind. But a 3A Douglas team that I thought was pretty talented, pretty skilled, pretty athletic, fairly strong. And the Bronx played them pretty close for 3 quarters, and then the Bronx just wore them out and wound up winning by 20. Did the same thing to Riverton the next day. And it's rearing its head here late in the first half already against Natrona. The Bronx just make you work for everything. Plus, the Bronx have a good size advantage against Natrona. Rogers, he's maybe 5'9", 5'10". Both of the Coxes, Cooper and Carter, they're probably 5'8"-ish. And the Bronx don't have anybody under 6 foot on the floor. They don't have hardly anybody under 6 foot on the bench until you get way down the line. 22-12 is your score out of the timeout. The Bronx have forced Natrona to... The Bronx have tipped the ball out of bounds a couple of times as Natrona's trying to get this ball in bounds. They finally do. They get it to Rogers. He crosses half court, guarded by Reed. Man-to-man from the Bronx. They've shown exclusively man here in this first half. Rogers dribbling around the left side, picks up his dribble on the perimeter. Good D by Reed. Good deny by the Bronx, and then he has an outlet, Gavin Paddock. Gavin with 2 points in the game. Had the first 2 points for Natrona. We got a foul on Minor on the floor near the elbow. Paddock did lay it up and in, but it won't count. So Natrona to inbound from their baseline. Minor picks up his second foul of the half. So he and Hamrick each with 2. Don't want either of them picking up their third foul. Cooper Cox inbounding underneath his own hoop along the baseline, gets to Carter Cox. Carter looks right, now passes left to Gavin Paddock. Gavin decides to dribble, guarded by Minor. Works left, gets top of the key, now to the elbow, kicks it off to Rogers, left wing. Rogers guarded by Friday, who just checked into the game. Patterson tries to block it, couldn't. Rogers, a tough little move, has his 3rd point in the game. 22-14, Bronx lead. Reed quickly across half court to the elbow, to the low block, to a cutting Minor. Minor along the baseline. Little spin, fired up off the glass and good. Nate Minor with 5. He has a three-pointer and that layup. 24-14, a minute 50 to go. Rogers across half court, right sideline. Friday comes over, gives chase. Minor almost picked up his third foul. Oh, they didn't call it. Fortunate, no call. Get it to Williams. He'll fire a 3 and hit it. Orrin Williams, his first points. 24-17. Reed crosses half court. He wants to run, going against Cox. Gets a little bump, fires a shot. Contact, no call. And Patterson fights for the rebound. He's fouled by Williams. There was contact there against Reed, but I'm actually glad they didn't call it because Minor was going for a steal, ran into Cox on the possession before, and they didn't whistle Minor for a foul. So referees with consistent foul calling. Good to see on both sides. Minute and a half to go. Breck Reed inbounding. Bronx up 7. Breck Reed finds Alex Osborne. It's Osborne, Friday, Brutlog, Reed, and Patterson on the floor for the Bronx. Pass goes to Patterson. He's on the right wing. Couple dribbles, kick it off to Osborne. The lefty dribbles left, gets down to the low block, working against Cox. Fires a shot, couldn't get it to go. Patterson got his hands on the offensive rebound but couldn't control it, and Paddock comes away with it. Kicks it off to Cox. To the other Cox, this is Carter. Carter, couple dribbles, pass off to Rogers. Top of the key. Double team comes. It's Friday and Reed. Rogers gets rid of it to Carter Cox. Now to Orrin Williams. He'll fire a 3 left side. Got it. Orrin Williams 2 threes in a row for Natrona. 24-20. Well, the Bronx led by 10. That lead is down to 4 with 52 seconds to go. Reed with it. Reed barrels into the lane. Kicks it out for Patterson. Fakes a 3. Back to Reed, right wing. Reed. Left-hand dribble. Gets across. Gets to the three-point line, now works to the low block, fires a shot up off the glass, and Breck Reed has his first points. 26-20, 35 seconds to go, second period of action. Well, Natrona battled back in. They were down 4 just a minute ago, now down 6 with under 30 seconds to go in the half. Paddock gets a step on Osborne, and then Osborne tipped it away. Brutlog comes over that across half court, gets it to Friday. Friday goes up for the dunk, his second one of the half. Friday with 7 points. Off the bench, and 2 dunks. 28-20, Paddock with it. Past Osborne, gets into the paint, kick it out Williams. Open 3 with 8 seconds. He missed it. Rebound, fought for, won by Friday. 4 seconds, off to Reed. Reed along the sideline, looks at the scoreboard, fires a shot from beyond half court. Up and off the front iron, no good. We go to half with the Bronx up 28-20. You're listening to Bronx Basketball on Sheridan Media Sports.
Have you been to the showroom at Thompson Master Masons? If you're thinking about doing a masonry project, you need to stop by and check it out. Thompson's is located on the corner of Broadway and 11th in Sheridan with a showroom full of brick and stone samples. They offer both man-made and natural stone. As a matter of fact, Thompson Master Masons has the widest selection of stone, block, and brick in town. Wholesale or retail, contact Thompson Master Masons.
Chapman, Valdez, and Lansing, with offices in Sheridan and Casper, are ready to protect the freedoms and rights of the citizens of Wyoming. The Sheridan office of Michael Lansing and Nicole Soto provide competent local legal services focused on businesses, real estate transactions, estate planning, employee protections, trust litigation, and personal injury. Michael and Nicole will aggressively, timely, and ethically protect your rights and are proud to support all local youth activities.
This year, First Northern Bank of Wyoming is celebrating an incredible milestone. 140 years of serving our Wyoming communities. For generations, we've been here through every season of life, helping families, ranchers, and businesses thrive. From local lending to personalized service, we're proud to be your community bank and trusted partner. Whether you're starting your first loan or account, growing your business, or buying your dream home, we're here for you. First Northern Bank of Wyoming, proudly serving communities for 140 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402576.
When the Sheridan Bronx and Lady Bronx hit the court, they play with focus, finesse, and unstoppable momentum. At Simply Stone, that same level of precision goes into every countertop they create. From quartz and marble to granite and porcelain, their team crafts and installs services with the kind of accuracy and consistency you'd expect from a championship-level program. Just like the Bronx and Lady Bronx, they believe in skill, teamwork, and a flawless finish. Visit their showroom at 2745 Heartland Drive or online at simplystonewyo.com. Simply Stone, simply the best.
Hi, this is DJ Dearcorn of First Federal Bank and Trust, and you are listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. The Bronx lead 28-20 at the end of the first half. Well played first half. Really, both teams took pretty good care of the basketball. Solid offense. Good hard-nosed defense from both sides. Like I said, it didn't get chippy. It was physical, but didn't get chippy at all. Both of these teams are not afraid to play physical, and it was a physical game, but nothing untoward, nothing crazy. And really, really balanced scoring by both sides. We'll look at Natrona first. I mean, their leading scorer was Orrin Williams, who didn't have a point until the final minute and a half of that first half, and then he hit 2 threes right in a row, so he's the leading scorer with 6 points. Josiah Coleman, who sat on the bench with the foul trouble, had 5 early points. Garrett Paddock had 4. Cooper Rogers added 3. And Gavin Paddock, the senior, had 2. He had the first 2 points of the ball game and didn't score again there in the first half. Over on the Bronx side, a very, very similar story. 9 Bronx played, 8 of them scored, nobody in double digits. Riley Friday had 7 off the bench to lead all scorers for either team. Just a nice job by Riley. He added a couple dunks in there too, which was kind of excited this crowd and the student section for Sheridan, along with the SHS band. Behind Friday in scoring were Nate Miner and Beck Haswell, who each had 5. Johnny Spielman had 3. Breck Reed, Braden Brutlog, and Tanner Hamrick all had 2, along with Alex Osborne, who added 2 more off the bench. So the Bronx lead 28-20, very balanced. Did a nice job taking care of the basketball, and well-played game. Just a good job by the Bronx. You know, the Bronx are expected to be really good this year. They're number 1 ranked team headed into the season. They maintained that ranking this week. They played a close one with Douglas through 3 quarters and then just wore them down and won by 20. They played a close one through a half with Riverton and then won by 27. And then came out terribly against Arvada West. Went down way early, 24-8 in the first quarter. But played them pretty even the rest of the way through. Pretty even the remaining 3 quarters. And like I said, if they had it to do over again, I'm sure the Bronx would give a much more competitive game against Arvada. 44-61 was the final score there. Natrona entered this game 3-1 with, like I said, a lot of experience. Cooper Rogers played last year. Garrett Paddock as a freshman played last year. Josiah Coleman played last year. Orrin Williams played last year as a sophomore. Gavin Paddock played last year. So a lot of experience for Natrona, and they look like an experienced team. You know, they got a little rattled there for a few moments, but for the most part, just a really good job by the Bronx. And you can kind of see, if you're watching on our live stream, which is on SheridanMedia.com or Sheridan Media's Facebook page or their YouTube page, you can watch the game along with the audio. Sheridan they don't try to overdo anything. They are solid with the basketball. They don't force shots when they drive. They don't force shots when they're covered. They're willing to work the offense. The only forced shot the Bronx had to take was because of the shot clock, and that was Johnny Spielman, who forced one up because there was 2 seconds on the shot clock. It was ticking down from 3. He fired up a 3, and the Bronx wound up getting an offensive rebound out of that. And just a very well-played first half by the Bronx. Now, obviously, there's some things that they can clean up, and I'm sure the coaching staff saw a few things like, we didn't execute this play quite right. We weren't screening away right here like we should have been. But overall, the Bronx, they look like an experienced team, as does Natrona. It's just that the Bronx length and size makes it really difficult on Natrona. Natrona is on pace for just 40 points in this game. Season average is 59 points. Natrona, through their first 4 games, was out-rebounding their opponents by plus 10, and it's been a pretty even matchup here tonight as far as the rebounding battle goes. Sheridan had a couple stretches where they gave up a couple offensive rebounds. Outside of that, they've boxed out well. They've defended well. They haven't allowed things to be easy for Natrona outside of the first 2 points of the game. Garrett Paddock went down and had an easy layup. So the Bronx lead by 8. They're looking to improve their record to 3-1 on the season. Again, this is a non-conference game. You know, a lot of times, if you've been in Sheridan for a while, a lot of times the Natrona-Sheridan matchup was a conference game. It is no longer the case. Cody moved down to 3A, which makes Natrona a Western Conference team now, and I think this Natrona team should at least compete over there in the West for the 1 or the 2 seed. Yeah, they're a solid team. Now, there are some decent teams over there. I think Rock Springs might surprise some people. Star Valley's physical. They've got a couple really nice players over there, so it's not going to be easy. But again, Natrona plays hard. They make life hard on other offenses, and yeah, I think it should be a fairly successful season for Natrona. But more importantly, the Broncs are up 8. And their high expectations, they're looking to go to 3-1 on the season. They'll play Kelly Walsh tomorrow. We believe early season schedules can change, and with the high winds we've had and everything, schedules can change, so always check SheridanMedia.com. But we believe the girls' game tomorrow night should start around 5:30 against Kelly Walsh. We'll be broadcasting that one. It will not be live streamed. You won't get the video, but you can absolutely get the audio. Tomorrow night as the Lady Broncs take on Kelly Walsh around 5:30, and the Broncs take on the Trojans around 7 o'clock tomorrow. We are getting set for the second half. Broncs lead 28-20. You're listening to Bronc Basketball on 1410 KWIO and 106.9 FM.
At Mystic Tree Farm, holiday magic is in full swing. Our greenhouse is filled with fresh Nordman, Douglas, and noble fir trees, along with beautiful wreaths. Come wander through the trees, sip a warm drink, and find a tree that feels just right. And while you're here, grab a Mystic Tree gift card. It truly is the gift that grows all year. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 5. Mystic Tree Farm, just past the North Main Interchange.
Wyoming Corporate Office is located at 30 North Gould Street in Sheridan, and they provide a myriad of services. What is a registered agent, you may ask? The real question is, what aren't they? Wyoming Corporate Office can assist you in forming your LLC or Wyoming-based corporation, provide mail forwarding service, and accept legal and financial documents, and so much more. Learn more today by visiting WyomingCorporateOffice.com.
This is Dr. Dana Leroy with Leroy Family Dental, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki. Sheridan High School pep band playing in the background. And if you just can't get enough of basketball and you'd like to come to the gym tomorrow or Saturday, Sheridan will be on the road, but Bighorn has home games, Tongue River has home games, as they host a tournament here between Tongue River and Bighorn, and a bunch of 2A teams coming into Sheridan County to take on the Rams and the Eagles. So check Sheridan Media for those as well. Again, big thanks to Coleman Hanchett, who is on the camera tonight for our live stream, doing a great job. And we are set as the buzzer sounds for the second half of action. Nate Miner, Breck Reed, Tanner Hamrick, Beck Haswell, and Johnny Spielman on the floor for the Broncs. Gavin and Garrett Paddock for Natrona, along with Josiah Coleman, Cooper Rogers, and Orrin Williams. Broncs start with possession, up 8. Reed crosses half court, and the Broncs get in their offense. Goes to Hamrick, right wing, over to Spielman, top of the key, looks left, passes right. Miner, open 3, right wing, bang, Nate Miner. They set a screen for Miner. He came off of it, caught the ball, and now Spielman steals it. Spielman working to the low block. Nice little jump stop. 6-footer, good. Johnny Spielman with 5, and the Broncs have 5 quick points to start the second half. 33-20. 7.5 minutes to go on the range scoreboard. Williams to Gavin Paddock. Paddock to the wing. To Williams. Dives into the paint. Kick it out. Garrett Paddock. He'll fire a 3 over the outstretched arm of Spielman. No good. Rebound tipped around. Hamrick brings it in. Reed across half court looking down the floor. Nothing there. Reed works right. Double team comes. He lost it. Turnover by Reed as Gavin Paddock reached in. Garrett Paddock comes away with it. Off to brother Gavin. Now to Coleman, who cuts baseline. Goes all the way out to the three-point line in the corner. Now to the left wing, Rogers. Rogers looking right. Looking for a back door. Doesn't have it. Rogers now decides to dribble. He's guarded by Miner. Man-to-man from both teams to start this second half. Haven't seen any zone from either squad. Paddock into the lane. That's Gavin. He ran right over Beck Haswell. Haswell takes his second charge of the game. Out of control was the senior Gavin. Leapt in the air, and Reed again was just camped. He was camped in the lane. I normally say that block charge call is a really hard call, and it truly is most of the time, because usually somebody's sliding in to try to take the charge and you have to be completely set. It's a bang-bang play. Neither of those charge calls were hard charge calls against Haswell or against Natrona. Haswell had his feet set. It could have been in cement. In the half court, pass goes to Haswell. He'll fire a little shot over Williams, missed it short, and Natrona comes away with the rebound. Coleman makes a terrible pass. Minor intercepts it, gets another steal. Just a bad pass from Coleman in transition. Minor kicks it off to Haswell. Top of the key, thought about the three, dribbles right, working against Coleman, and Haswell travels. Haswell actually got away with a travel when he caught the pass. Then he's driving down to the low block and traveled again, and this time they whistle him for it. And Gavin Paddock, who got about a 10-second break, checks back into the game. He got that offensive foul call. Just going a little bit out of control, and Coleman almost threw it away again to Minor. The official signaled the wrong way. He signaled. Actually, no, it is Sheridan basketball. I thought Spielman maybe touched it. I mean, he was right there. The official was right there. He would know better than I did. I thought maybe Spielman got a finger on it. Nope. Ball was thrown out of bounds. It's a turnover by Natrona, and Sheridan starts in their half court. Pass goes to Haswell. He falls over his own feet. Ball's on the floor. Coleman comes up with it, so a turnover. And then it's stolen right back by Hamrick. Hamrick gets to the three-point line, 4-on-3. Hamrick will fire a deep three. Right side, no good. Rebound hauled in by Coleman. We have a foul. Reed and Spielman were both in the area. They get Breck Reed. Reed picks up his foul, his second of the game. And Riley Friday checks in for Beck Haswell. Haswell a couple turnovers there. Last couple possessions. And Friday, who's played a really good game off the bench, checks back in. 33-20 is your score. Bronx lead by 13. 6 minutes on the range scoreboard. Third quarter of action. Natrona gets it in the half court. It's Garrett Paddock with it. He's the sophomore. Paddock dribbles around a little bit, passes off to Williams on the wing, guarded by Friday. Williams right wing, one dribble, passes off to Gavin Paddock. He's top of the key, Reed guarding him. Paddock not thinking about the three, even though Reed's giving him space. Paddock now picks up his dribble, a little bounce pass off to Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Williams drives on Friday, lowers the shoulder, cut off, fires a shot, airballed. Spielman comes up with it before the shot clock can expire, and the Bronx have the basketball. Reed up to Hamrick, wide open three, right side. Hamrick will try it, bang! Tanner Hamrick, he has 5. Well, Hamrick struggled shooting the three down in Casper. He was 1 of 10. Missed one earlier, but then he gets that one to go. And now Natrona the other way. We have a sprained ankle underneath the hoop. Same area that Mesa Haniff sprained her ankle in the girls' game. It was Gavin Paddock. He went up for a shot, missed it, came down and sprained his ankle. Orrin Williams got the rebound, collected the rebound, and laid it up and in. So Orrin Williams, now has 8 points. Gavin Paddock, the senior, checks out with that right ankle as he came down and turned it a little bit. 36-22 is your score after the putback by Williams, and it's Bronx basketball. Bronx lead by 14. Brutlug across half court, gets past his man, kicks it off to Friday. Friday along the baseline. Right-hand dribble, kicks it off to Minor, guarded by Coleman. Minor's top of the key. Minor will just fire it over Coleman's outstretched hand. No good. Spielman offensive board, lay it up and in. Boy, Johnny Spielman has done a great job on the boards. He's the leading rebounder for the Bronx coming into tonight. 6 rebounds a game through 3 games. He's done a good job tonight. And he has 7 points in the game. He's just got a great motor, does the junior that wears number 11, Johnny Spielman. Natrona in their half court. They find Williams, and he blew the layup. Oh, he had a nice, easy layup, a little reverse layup, but an easy one, and the Bronx clear out the rebound. Spielman with it, 38-22. Bronx lead by 16. Spielman, pass over to Hamrick. He'll try a three from the left side. That does not go. Friday, offensive board. Friday falls to the floor. He's fouled by Rogers. Now, Riley Friday, I was impressed with him down in Casper and the effort he gave. He was rebounding the basketball, and he scored a decent amount, but it wasn't really about him scoring. It was about the defense and the rebounding and the hustle plays he was making. He's doing that again tonight off the bench. Minor, inbound pass goes to Spielman. Bronx possession up 16, third quarter of action, 4:20 on the range scoreboard. Spielman guarded by Paddock, the sophomore Paddock, kicks it off to Tanner Hamrick, looking for, bad pass by Tanner. He turned it over. He was looking for a rolling Minor after the screen, but threw it into 2 Mustangs. Transition 3 from Paddock. He hit it. That's Garrett. Garrett has 7 in the game. Garrett's the sophomore that wears number 2. Gavin's the senior that just rolled his ankle and sits on the bench. Brutlog with it. Off to Spielman in the half court. Swing it over to Hamrick, left side, guarded by Rogers. One dribble, kick it up top. Minor quickly back to Hamrick, left side. Now to Spielman. Fakes a 3, gets past his man. Coleman lay it up and in. Johnny Spielman with 9. 40-25, Bronx lead by 15, 3:36 to go. Hamrick, Brutlog, Spielman, Miner, and Friday on the floor. Rogers gets past his man into the paint, fires a shot, fouled by Friday. That sends Cooper to the line. Friday came over, gave help. Miner kind of let him go. Miner had 2 fouls in that first half, didn't want to pick up his third. Kind of let him go. Friday came over in help side from the far corner. Got a lot of body, and Cooper Rogers at the line misses that one. Rogers is now 1 of 4 from the line tonight. He had 3 free throws with no time on the clock as the first quarter expired. He shot a 3 and was fouled. He was at the line all by himself, hit 1 of 3, and he misses the first one here. 1 of 4 from the line for the junior. Averages just under 9 points a game through 4 games. Shot up, that one goes. He has 4 points. And we've got some substitutions. Patterson into the game for Spielman. Setting the floor for the Bronx, Miner, Brutlog, Patterson, Friday, and Hamrick. Inbound pass goes to Brutlog, and he'll run the point, working against the taller Coleman. Coleman's got some length himself. The Bronx have a lot more length than Natrona as a team, but Coleman does have some length. Brutlog gets it off to Friday. He fires a 3 and hits it. 10 points for Riley Friday. He's the first Bronx in double digits. Coleman comes up, and nobody stops him, and Coleman throws it down. Oh, my. Coleman, 7 points in the game. Just bad defense by the Bronx. Bad defense by the Bronx in transition. Brutlog crosses half court. Guarded by Paddock, off to Patterson. He dribbles top of the key. He walked out in front of everybody. 43-28 is your score. 15 points is the lead for the Bronx. 2:53 to go. Gavin Paddock is into the game after turning his ankle on that layup. Paddock inbounding it, and Natrona doesn't know. They almost get a 5-second call. They get it to Coleman. Coleman crosses half court. Coleman guarded by Patterson, off to Paddock. Paddock to Rogers, and Rogers calls out a play. Paddock gets it poked away. Brutlog with defense. He dives on the floor. Rogers gets it back. Now it's 5 on 4. Rogers fires a shot in the lane, lays it up and in. He has 6 points, and it's a timeout by head coach Kurt Paddock. Quick timeout, so we'll keep it here, 43-30, and Coach Martini is upset at the defense. That's 3 possessions out of 4 where the team defense from the Bronx has not been good. And the Bronx typically are such a good defense when you talk about them as a team. I mean, they have good individual defenders, but their rotation, they rarely give up easy buckets. They had a breakdown defensively, which caused Riley Friday to get a foul because he came over. He's about the only Bronx in help side. He came over and fouled. Then they just let Josiah Coleman run completely free and get a free dunk in the lane. And then that last possession, they just a mental lapse from a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds for the Bronx. It's Bronx ball out of the timeout. Bronx up 13, 43-30, 2.5 minutes to go. Brutlog handles the point. Miner, Hamrick, Patterson, and Friday are also on the floor with Brutlog. Pass goes to Hamrick, right wing. Overhead pass, top of the key to Miner. Fakes the 3. Tries to get a step on his man. Little spin move in the lane. Good D by Paddock. Brutlog with the offensive board. Laid up off the glass. No good. Offensive board. Patterson comes up with it. Fires a shot. He was fouled. No call, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch. I mean, Patterson... And we've got some jawing going on. I can hear the official. He actually stops the game. It's going to be Natrona basketball after that shot. Patterson fired a shot, had to get hit on the elbow because that ball came up, never even got to 10 feet high, never even got to rim height, went out of bounds. No call, but one of the officials wants to talk to Cooper Rogers and Riley Friday. And now Natrona gets in transition again up to Oren Williams, laid up and in. Williams, the first Mustang in double digits. Breakdown defensively by the Bronx again. Patterson gets it down in the half court to Friday. Friday lowers his shoulder into Rogers and runs him over. Friday says it was a flop, but really Friday lowered his shoulder right into the chest of the much smaller Rogers. Rogers sends his back to the floor. And the Bronx need to keep their composure here. Patterson out, Friday out. Reed, Haswell, Spielman in. Brutlog takes a seat on the bench too. So on the floor, Tanner Hamrick, Breck Reed, Beck Haswell, Nate Miner, and Johnny Spielman. For Natrona, Garrett and Gavin Paddock, Rogers, Coleman, and Williams. Paddock off to Coleman. Well, Natrona doesn't run real deep on their bench. They're playing the same guys a lot of minutes. Coleman breaks pressure. Spielman cuts him off. We're now in the half court. Paddock top of the key, guarded by Haswell. This is Garrett, the sophomore. Garrett, right-hand dribble, working against Haswell. Oh, nice little crossover dribble, blew by Haswell, lay it up and in. Garrett Paddock with 9 in the game, 43-34. Bronx lead by 9. Reed quickly gets to the elbow. Now looking for a cutter, nobody there. Instead kicks it out to Minor, and the Bronx reset. They go to Spielman near the volleyball line. Spielman, right-hand dribble. Open 3 for Haswell, doesn't take it. Swing it over Hamrick. Now to Reed. Reed working against Coleman. Reed into the paint, fire a shot off the glass, no good. Rebound hauled in by Coleman. Coleman quickly up to Williams, who stops, thought about the 3, kick it to the corner. Rogers instead. Rogers gets by his man. Baseline, shot swatted away by Spielman and out of bounds. Natrona keeps possession. 43-34, Bronx lead by 9. A minute and 9 seconds to go on the range scoreboard. Third quarter of action. Natrona inbounding. It's Coleman with the basketball. Chest heaving. He's tired. Passes off to Paddock. This is Garrett. He fires a shot from the baseline off the front iron. No good. Haswell collects the rebound, gets it off to Reed. Reed looks behind him and then jogs it up across half court. Stops at the three-point line. Fakes the 3. Looks for Hamrick in the corner. Now to Haswell. Swing it over Spielman. Open 3. Right side. He hit it. Johnny Spielman. Spielman feeling it a little bit this half. He has 12 points in the game, 9 points this quarter. Bronx lead by 12, 46-34. Garrett Paddock with it in the half court, guarded by Haswell. Paddock swings it over to Rogers, right wing, guarded by Reed. Rogers gets a step on Reed. Reed cuts him off, leaps in the air, kick it out Garrett Paddock. He'll fire a 3. That does not go. Nobody blocked out Rogers. Rogers offensive board. One dribble, picked it up. Now passes off to Gavin Paddock. Into the paint, kick it out Coleman. Coleman had a 3, didn't take it, drives the lane, fires a shot off the glass, no good. Good D by the Bronx, and Minor comes up with the rebound. 19 seconds to go. 18, now in the half court. Minor, little hesitation move. He's bumped on the floor, lays it up and in, but they wave it off. That was an early call by the officials, and by that I mean a good call. They immediately, before Minor ever even got the shot off, they waved it off and said it was on the floor. They immediately called it. So they don't count the basket. And it's 46-34 with 15 seconds to go, and we have a timeout on the floor. 15 seconds to go. Third quarter of action. 30-second timeout. Coach Martini talking it over with his young men in the huddle. Bronx have played 9 guys tonight. 8 of them have scored. Johnny Spielman and Riley Friday, 2 juniors, are the leading scorers for the Bronx. Spielman with 12 has had 9 here in the third quarter. Riley Friday had 7 in the first half, added a 3 here in the third quarter. So 12 for Spielman, 10 for Friday. And it's Bronx basketball out of the timeout, 15 seconds to go. They lead by 12. This can be the final possession. The shot clock is turned off. So the Bronx can run it out. Reed inbounding. Looking for Spielman. A little lob pass to Spielman in the paint. One dribble. Working against Coleman. Shot blocked. Spielman gets it back. Now lay it up and in. Spielman. Good stick-to-itiveness by Spielman. He has 14. And quickly the other way. Paddock hands off to Rogers. Rogers with 2. Fires a 3. And we have a foul call on Johnny Spielman. And Rogers is going to shoot 3 free throws. Essentially at the end of the third quarter. There's actually 0.4. But it's almost a mirror image of the end of the first quarter. As Rogers was fouled taking that 3. Rogers 2 of 5 from the free throw line here tonight. He has 6 total points. But the first time he shot free throws to end the first quarter, there was nobody on the line because there was literally no time on the clock. There's at least 0.4 of a second now, so the Bronx have to be on the lane. Rogers hits the first one. He now has 7 points in the game. It's 48-35. And Natrona, a couple substitutions here as they just want to get some guys on the bench and get a little additional rest as they made very few substitutions in that third quarter. Alex Osborne comes in for Nate Minor. Again, don't want Minor to pick up like an over-the-back foul or something here at the end of the third. And again, not like it really matters, but with 0.4 of a second, you just don't want to make any stupid fouls. So, after all the substitutions, Rogers finally collects the basketball for his final free throw attempt. 2 of 2 on this trip, make it 2 of 3 as he misses that one. Spielman touches the basketball, and that ends the third quarter with the Bronx leading by 12. It's 48-36. We'll come back with your fourth quarter of action You're listening to Bronc Basketball on Sheridan Media Sports.
Hi, this is Jill Bates.
And Colton Bates.
With the Bates team at Best Real Estate.
During the month of December, we would like to pause and say thank you to our incredible clients and wonderful community. Your trust and support have made this year truly special.
As we step into the magic of Christmas, we are reminded of everything that makes this season shine. The laughter around the table, the joy of giving, the sparkle of lights, and the warmth of gathering with the ones we love.
From all of us at Best Real Estate, may your holidays be filled with good food, fun, and heartfelt celebration.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
I'm Doug Hockett with Stiefel Investments, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, Sheridan leads 48-36. The final seconds tick off the clock. And we'll start the fourth quarter here momentarily. Braden Brutlog, Breck Reed, Alex Osborne, Beck Haswell, and Johnny Spielman break the huddle. They are on the floor for the Broncs. 3 seniors, Reed, Osborne, and Haswell. 2 juniors, Spielman and Brutlog. This is a junior-senior heavy team in the Broncs and an extremely junior-heavy team in Natrona. Natrona has 9 juniors. Adonis Martinez checks in for the first time this game for Natrona, and he inbounds the ball, gets it off to Gavin Paddock, and Gavin starts the offense. Broncs showing man-to-man once again. Gavin Paddock kicks it off to brother Garrett. Garrett, the sophomore, guarded by Reed. Top of the key, ball in his right hand, dribbles right. Now looks for Williams, doesn't have it. Ball over his head, looking for Martinez. Gets it to him, now to Coleman. Coleman tries to get Spielman baseline, can't. Spielman does a good job defensively cutting him off, and the ball works around the perimeter. Paddock over to the other Paddock. This is Garrett. Garrett working against Osborne. Back to brother Garrett. Gavin, rather. A lot of Paddocks. The coach, a couple players, and the shot clock expires. Good team defense from the Broncs that possession, and it's a turnover by Natrona, as that's our first shot clock violation of the game. 35 seconds into the fourth quarter. Osborne passes off to Brutlog, and Brutlog starts the offense for the Broncs. He's guarded man-to-man by Martinez. Brutlog across half court to the volleyball line, now to the three-point line. Gets a step on Martinez, down to the low block. Right-hand shot up, soft touch, but he couldn't get it to go. Spielman an offensive board, and then he's tied up. We have a foul on Martinez. Spielman another offensive rebound. He attacks the basket when somebody else shoots. I mean, rebounding a lot of times is about effort, and Johnny Spielman has done that through the first 6, and we've got lane violations everywhere on Natrona. Spielman missed the free throw, but we're going to get 2 more free throws as Natrona left the low block, they left the perimeter, they walked in. You've got to be set once the free throw shooter gets the basketball. Natrona was all over the place, so even though Johnny missed that, it won't count. So first free throw from Spielman officially misses. Spielman was 8 of 11 coming in tonight from the free throw line. That's good for 73%, but he misses that one, and it remains a 12-point lead for the Broncs. 7:09 on the range scoreboard. Second free throw for the junior, Spielman, up and off the back iron, off the front iron, off the glass, and it falls down and good. 15 points for Johnny. He leads the Broncs in scoring. 49-36. 7:05 to go on the range scoreboard. Natrona in the half court. Williams with it. Left-hand dribble off to Coleman. Coleman crossover dribble off to Williams. He'll fire a 3 left side. That's long. Good box out by Beck Haswell. Spielman gives chase. The ball's poked out of bounds. Haswell and Paddock were fighting for position, him and Gavin Paddock. They both tipped it up in the air. Spielman gave chase and knocked it out of bounds. Williams inbounding for Natrona from underneath his own basket. Natrona sets screens all around and then was thrown away by Williams. Haswell comes up with it. Haswell left side, lay it up and good. Beck Haswell. 7 points in the game. First points of the second half for the senior Beck. 51-36. Garrett Paddock working against Reed. Little around the back dribble, gets a step. Now he backs it up to the three-point line. Kick it off to Martinez, right side guarded by Brutlog. Martinez, couple dribbles. Now back up dribble, gets it off to Garrett Paddock. Garrett around the perimeter. Stops 18 feet. Kicks it off to Coleman. Coleman will try a little back-up 3, a little step-back 3, no good. Spielman had a hand in his face, and Brutlog clears the rebound. Brutlog with a carry. He was going to make a pass up the left sideline. Didn't see, thought maybe the window was closing, didn't want to turn it over, so he kept his dribble, even though he was already trying a baseball pass, and they call it a carry and a turnover on the junior Brutlog. 51-36, the Broncs lead by 15. Osborne, Haswell, Brutlog, Spielman, and Miner on the floor. And the officials are meeting together for a second. We've got either some sweat or some blood on the floor. So they're going to go find something to wipe it up with. I'm not sure what it is. It's on the far sideline if I can lip read from up here in the stands. So both teams go near their benches. They're not allowed to actually go to their benches because it's not an actual timeout. But it must be blood because Joanne Goss, who we talked about during the girls' game as she was attending to Mesa Hanift, who rolled her ankle, comes out with a rubber glove on and a paper towel to clean up a blood spot right near half court, near the Bronc head. Like I said, two teams that don't mind playing physical. Somebody must have a little cut, maybe a cut to the mouth, maybe a cut to the knee or the elbow. But well-played game by the Broncs. They're up 15 right now, and it's rare to see a team that kind of takes the Broncs out of what they do. You know, sometimes you'll see the Broncs maybe not shoot so well, but they're very disciplined, and they do a really nice job, and that just wears on a team when you're strong with the basketball offensively and you're disciplined, you don't take bad shots. You don't give away possessions that way, and when you're turning the other team over, at least in spurts, it gets you a 15-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Natrona with it in the half court. It's Garrett Paddock. He fires a shot. He made a lot of contact, initiated contact with Beck Haswell, and Haswell picks up the foul. That'll send the sophomore Garrett Paddock to the line. He's on 9 points here this evening. At the free throw line. Garrett on this young season through 4 games, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. That shot is up and good. It falls for the sophomore, and he has double digits, so he and Williams are now the leading scorers for the Mustangs, each with 10. Spielman has 15. Friday has 10 for the Broncs. Second free throw is up and good. 11 points for the sophomore Paddock, and it's 51-38. Broncs lead by 13. Under 6 to go here in the fourth quarter. Brutlog doesn't get stopped. Drives into the paint, fires a shot. He's fouled by Martinez. Basket is good. Brutlog with 4, and he goes to the line to add 1 possibly. Well, Brutlog last year, 8th in the state in free throw shooting. Struggled a little bit to start. 4 of 8 here in the early going. Shot up, and it does fall. So Brutlog now with 5 points in the game off the bench for the Broncs. 54-38. Broncs lead. 5:49 to go. Garrett Paddock with it in the half court. Gets to the three-point line. He's guarded by Haswell. Kick it off to Coleman. He fires an open 3 right side. That does not go. Rebound hauled in by Miner. He kicks it off to Spielman. 2-on-2 break. Spielman right side. Puts a little move on. Almost lost his footing and then threw it away. Actually didn't throw it away because he ran over Josiah Coleman. So it's a turnover regardless. Whether the pass was stolen or it's a charge, it's a turnover regardless, as Johnny Spielman just a little bit out of control. And he comes to the bench along with Braden Brutlog. Tanner Hamrick and Breck Reed into the game for the Broncs. They join Nate Miner, Riley Friday, and Beck Haswell on the floor. 54-38 is your score. Inbound pass goes to Paddock. Nobody guards Paddock as he dribbles up to and across half court. Now Haswell will pick him up in the quarter court. 54-38, Broncs lead. Rogers with it. Rogers working against Reed. Little spin move, kick it off to Paddock. This is Garrett. He's guarded by Haswell. Paddock works his way past Haswell, fires up a shot, and he's fouled. Blocking foul goes against Beck Haswell, picks up his second foul. Paddock just got a step on Haswell. Nice little shifty moves. He's not he doesn't appear to be overly quick, but he uses his body well. And you get a half step on him, it turns into a full step. Paddock misses that one. Garrett now 2 for 3 from the free throw line in the game. Martinez out. It's Rogers, both Paddocks, Coleman, and Williams on the floor for Natrona. Haswell, Reed, Miner, Hamrick, and Friday for the Broncs. Second free throw up, no good. Hamrick pulls down the rebound, gets it off to Miner and off to Reed, and now the Broncs jog it up the floor. Reed crosses half court. Kicks it off right wing, Hamrick. He's guarded by Coleman. Now to Friday, top of the key. Ball over his head, swing it over Miner. Thought about the 3. The closeout came from Paddock. Minor kicks it off to Hamrick, swing it over Reed, now to Haswell, right wing. Haswell guarded by Garrett Paddock. Swing it over Friday. The Bronx can run some clock. They're up 16. It's not a big deal. Friday with it. Off to Minor. 9 seconds on the shot clock now. Pass goes to Haswell. He checks the shot clock. 4, 3. Hamrick drives. Gets a step on Coleman. Lay it up and in. With 1 second on the shot clock, Tanner Hamrick took it in right side. Laid it up and in. He has 7 points, and the Bronx lead by 18. 56-38. 4.5 to go. Gavin Paddock with it, guarded by Hamrick. Man-to-man from the Bronx. Off to Coleman, right side, guarded by Friday. Help comes. Coleman tries to split the defense and threw it away. Oh, he was looking for Williams. Haswell jumped it, stole it, and now Reed crosses half court and then dribbled it off of his own shin. Right to Garrett Paddock, up to Gavin Paddock. Lay it up, no good. He tried to make contact. Just a bad play by Gavin. Rather than just take the layup, he tried to make contact. And now the Bronx, great pass from Breck Reed. Lay it up, no good. Friday missed it. Oh, putback, no good. Friday missed it. It's about the only thing Friday's done poorly here tonight. He's done a great job. Wide open along the baseline. Had a nice, easy bunny right there next to the hoop. Laid it up, missed it. Had a putback with his right hand. Shot it too hard. Missed that one, and Shona comes up with the basketball, and now they inbound. Cooper Rogers with it. Under 4 to go, Bronx lead by 18. Rogers, cross half court, guarded by Reed. Little spin move near the Bronx head. Now he backs it up. Right at half. Volleyball line. Now to the three-point line, right wing. Looking for Cox on the right side. Carter Cox with it. Kick it off to Paddock. Cox played a lot in the first half. This is his first action here in the fourth quarter, or in the second half. Now off to Rogers in the right corner, guarded by Reed. Rogers, step back three, no good. Minor boxes out well, ball's tipped from behind, and Haswell comes away with it. Under 3.5 to go. Bronx about to extend their record to 3-1. They're up 18 points. Minor with it, and the Bronx willing to work this shot clock down. Pass goes off to Haswell, right wing, working against Coleman. Back up dribble, little spin, nice move, gets by Coleman, fires a shot charge against Haswell. Rogers was sitting there underneath, and Haswell picks up his third foul of the half. 3:07 on the Range scoreboard. Fourth quarter of action. Beck Haswell checks out. So does Tanner Hamrick. So on the floor for the Bronx, Friday, Brutlog, Reed, Minor, and Spielman. Pass goes up the left sideline. Natrona's working left to right in this second half. To Paddock, and Paddock is guarded by Spielman. Similar builds out of Garrett Paddock and Johnny Spielman, both pretty tall, pretty lengthy. And Paddock hits a backdooring Williams. He corrals it, gets it off to Rogers. Rogers barrels into the paint, lowers his shoulder. Now pivots, reverse pivots, fires a shot, missed. Brutlog with it, and Brutlog's willing to slow it up. 2:43 to go. Working against Garrett Paddock. Brutlog, right hand dribbled. Minor, swing it over to Reed. Reed, wide open three, right side. Bang! Breck Reed. Reed with 5 in the game. 59-38, 21-point lead for the Bronx. 2.5 minutes to go. Ball's poked out of bounds by Braden Brutlog. And again, the Bronx just wearing teams down. I mean, it's a Natrona team. And granted, Natrona didn't play great teams, but I didn't think they played bad teams down there in Casper. But Natrona was averaging 58 points a game. And they're stuck at 38 right now. Bronx defense making life rough on them. Garrett Paddock collects the inbound. Kicks it off to Williams. Williams works right. Bronx switch all over. Spielman on him. Pass goes off to Cooper Cox. Cooper, one dribble. Kick it off to Gavin Paddock. He gets a step on Patterson. Now he jumps in the air, kicks it off to brother Garrett, and Garrett threw it away. He was looking for Carter Cox. Ball's poked away. Ball's on the floor, and now Reed runs it down. 59-38, Bronx basketball. Spielman in the half court. Little skip pass to Brutlog. He'll fire a three, left side. Bang, Braden Brutlog. Braden, the junior, with 8, 6 of which have come here in the second half. 62-38. Bronx opening it up. Ball's almost stolen. Minor came over and double teamed, and now we get a empty the bench for the Bronx, and all 12 players tonight that are suited up for the Bronx will get some playing time as Zach Kinsey, Colton Phillip, and Fisher Peldo all check in for the Bronx. Bronx leads 62-38. There is a timeout on the floor. Fisher Peldo's a junior. He wears 00. Colton Phillips a junior. He wears number 1. And Zach Kinsey's a junior. He wears number 12. Those are the 3 guys that had not played tonight. All 3 of them have played this season. Fisher Peldo's been in a game, hasn't scored yet. Colton Phillip played in 2 games, has a rebound and an assist. And Zach Kinsey's played in 2 games, has hit a 3. He's also recorded a rebound and an assist. So the 10th, 11th, and 12th men for the Bronx getting some playing times tonight, and those 3 are joined by Braden Brutlog and Colton Patterson. Well, a good win for the Bronx. I mean, again, they just seem to wear teams out. I mean, you can play. I mean, they're playing 9 consistently, right? You're playing 9 players consistently. They all get after it defensively. Like I said, they have a lot of length. And it just makes life hard on opposing offenses and opposing defenses for that matter. You just have to work because the Bronx don't force a lot of shots. So defensively, you're stuck in possessions for 20 seconds at a time, 25, 30 seconds at a time. Out of the timeout, Cooper Cox is at the line shooting free throws. He misses that one. Cooper has not scored in this game. Like I said, played a fair amount in the first half. Did not play in the third quarter. Again, he might be a player that has 3 quarters of JV, 3 quarters of varsity. That may not be why he didn't play in that third quarter, as Cox hits that free throw. It's good. 62-39 is your score. Bronx lead by 23. And Alex Osborne checks in for Brutlog. So Osborne, the senior, Patterson, the senior, on the floor with 3 juniors, Phillip, Kinsey, and Peldo. Pass goes off to Phillip. Phillip, a little bounce pass to Patterson. Patterson, right-hand dribble, crosses over and gets it to Phillip, and Phillip crosses half court. Phillip, between the leg dribble, working against Garrett Paddock. Phillip off to Kinsey, right-hand side on the wing. 1 dribble, hits the cutting Patterson. Patterson will stop, take a little 10-footer. Patterson hits it. So now 9 Bronx have scored as Patterson gets his first points. 64-39, Gavin Paddock with it, guarded by Peldo. Now off to Coleman. Coleman into the paint, split the defense, lay it up, missed it. Alex Osborne pulls down the rebound, gets it off to Colton Phillip, and with 1:11 to go, the Bronx work it across half court. Osborne, left-hand dribble, back to his right, stops near the volleyball line, now dribbles up near the 3-point line, gets it off to Kinsey. Now Peldo. Peldo will fire a left wing 3, and he hit it! Fisher Peldo, his first varsity points as a Bronx. 3 points for the junior, and double Ott is fired up. The lefty hit the 3 from the wing. He didn't hesitate. Garrett Paddock fires a shot, no good. Rebound by Kinsey. 67-39, 43 seconds to go, and now Coach Martini says, hold up. Now there is still a shot clock, so the Bronx do have to run an offensive play. They can't just run this thing out. They do have to operate within the offense. 30 seconds to go, 21 on the shot clock. Kinsey over to Phillip, now over to Osborne, right side. Osborne, 1 dribble, hits a backdooring Patterson, now off to Phillip. Phillip, back up dribble to Kinsey. He checks the shot clock, 9, 8. Kinsey dribbles into the paint, ball stolen away. Paddock comes up with it, up to Coleman with 12 seconds to go in the game. Coleman, left-hand dribble. Osborne shuts him off. Now to Garrett Paddock. Garrett Paddock, Bronx had a letdown defensively right there. Garrett Paddock lays it up and in, and time expires, and the Bronx win 67-41. It's a 26-point victory for the Bronx. They just wore down Natrona, just consistently good. That's what I want to say about the Bronx 3 victories. They may not blow your socks off with anything spectacular outside of, sometimes a shooting performance, or in tonight's case, Friday's 2 dunks. But they don't do anything spectacular. They just play great, solid basketball, and they are now 3-1 on the season, and took care of a Natrona team that, like I said, I think they'll do. I think they'll compete over there in the West. I know there are a couple decent teams over there in the West, but I think Natrona just they didn't have it in the second half, going against 9 Bronx that were getting run in and out off the bench to the scorer's table and on the floor. And the Bronx will play Kelly Walsh tomorrow. That game should tip, barring any schedule change, around 7, but always do check Sheridan Media, because especially with the weather in the winter, sometimes they'll start a game a half hour early. Girls tip at 5:30, or at least that's the projected plan, 5:30. And 7 o'clock for the boys tip, as the Bronx and Lady Bronx both victorious tonight, and they head down to Kelly Walsh tomorrow to take on Kelly Walsh. The last game that each team will play before Christmas break. We'll take a break, come back and run down the scoring for you for the Bronx, have a chat with head coach Jeff Martini. Bronx win 67-41. The home opener was a success for the Sheridan basketball teams. You're listening to Bronx Basketball on 1410 KWYO and 106.9 FM.
Bring your cybersecurity within range. Cyber attacks don't just put your data at risk, they put your productivity at risk too. Range Managed IT Services gives you a full suite of data protection, including managed firewalls, next-gen endpoint protection, and staff training to keep your business safe. Let our experts take care of your company's cybersecurity so you can take care of business and live your West life. Visit range.net/managed services and protect your business today.
In a world full of pipes, they existed for over 100 years, getting to the source of humanity's plumbing problems. Now, in a toilet somewhere in the city, a terrible evil has been released. One man, one mission, one chance, and this time, it's for real. For showtimes and plumbing, call A+ Plumbers and Appliance Repair, 672-9454.
Christmas is almost here, which means it's time for Mossholder's annual snowflake sale. This year, you could be the lucky customer that receives half off your entire purchase. The sale is easy. Simply select all the regularly priced items you'd like to buy, then randomly select a percentage off. Every purchase will save at least 10%. Many customers will save 15, 20, or 30% off their entire purchase. Just like every year, one lucky customer will draw the largest discount, getting 50% off everything they buy. This year, it just might be you. Mossholder's annual snowflake sale ends December 23rd. Mossholders, furniture is our passion.
Have you been in to see Sheridan YO Sports Cards yet? It's the spot to get your hands on incredible sports cards and memorabilia. Sheridan's premier spot for buying cards. All major sports cards including fighting, wrestling, Pokemon, and even racing. These guys have hobby boxes for the serious collectors and packs for those getting started. Graded slabs from PSA, SGC, and if you have a big card to grade, talk to the guys to have your card submitted to PSA. Family friendly and located inside Sheridan Stationery Books and Gifts, 535 North Main, open 7 days a week.
This is Caleb Zier with Sheridan Physical Therapy, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from the Sheridan High School Gymnasium, I'm Aaron Lagaki. It's the Bronx post game as it's a successful home opener for the Bronx and Lady Bronx. Lady Bronx won earlier tonight, defeating Natrona 56-38. They win by 18. The Bronx, just minutes ago, defeated Natrona 67-41, so they win by 26 points as the Bronx just put it on the Mustangs in the second half. The Bronx led at the end of one, 13-10. At the end of half, they had opened up an 8-point lead, and then they were up 12 at the end of the third quarter, and they go on to win by 26 as the Bronx just keep pouring it on. They win 67-41. Really balanced scoring from the Bronx all around tonight. A great team effort. Johnny Spielman had 3 points at half. He finishes as the leading scorer for Sheridan tonight, 15 points, 12 points in that second half. He had a 9-point outburst in the third quarter. And he leads all scorers in the game. 15 points for the junior Spielman. He also did a great job on the boards and defensively against Natrona. Riley Friday has 10 points off the bench. He had a good first half, 7 points in that first half. Braden Brutlog and Nate Miner both finish with 8 points as well. Tanner Hamrick and Beck Haswell finish with 7. Colton Patterson finishes with 2. Alex Osborne finishes with 2. And Fisher Peldo put the exclamation point on this game as he comes in and hits a 3 from the left wing and finishes with 3 points. So 12 Bronx play, 10 Bronx score in just a very efficient night for the Bronx. They did a good job taking care of the basketball, and it's a good omen for the Bronx the rest of the season. They'll go down and play Kelly Walsh. Kelly Walsh is a team that has struggled here in this early going. They're 1-3 on the season. That game tomorrow night set to tip somewhere around 7 o'clock. Like I said, always check Sheridan Media just to make sure the game times haven't changed in case there's something with weather and they might push a game back a half hour or something like that. But or the high winds in this instance. But scheduled to tip at 7. Over on the Natrona side, I mean, Sheridan did a really good job defensively, containing Natrona. Natrona, not a heck of a lot of offense to talk about. Garrett Paddock was the leading scorer with 11. Cooper Rogers finished with 8. Josiah Coleman had 7. And then Cooper Cox added a free throw, and Gavin Paddock added a bucket. And that was it. I mean, 38 points for Natrona, or I'm sorry, 41 points for Natrona. Just a really good defensive effort from the Bronx. Even though they played well offensively, I thought defense really held them through in this one. And we will take a short break and be joined by head coach of the Bronx, Jeff Martini. You're listening to Bronx Basketball on 1410 KWYO and 106.9 FM.
No shirt, no shoes, no problem. Online banking is fast and convenient with Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union. If you have a smartphone, you can do your banking from anywhere, including remote deposit. Just take a picture of your check and send it. It's that easy. And you'll instantly have access to the first $200 available and the rest shortly thereafter. Yep, banking is that easy with remote deposit at Sheridan Community Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
If you've got college on your mind while juggling holiday chaos, Sheridan College has your back. Walk-in Wednesdays are coming up January 7th and January 14th. Just stop by the lobby of the Whitney Center for the Arts anytime between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. No appointment, no stress. They'll help you register, sort out financial aid, and get you ready for spring classes starting January 20th. Consider it the easiest thing you'll do all season. If you have questions, call 307-675-0500.
This is Dr. Michelle Meehan, and you're listening to Sheridan Media Sports.
Live from Sheridan High School, I'm Aaron Lagaki, and I am joined, as I am every evening, by head coach of the Bronx, Jeff Martini. And Coach, a lot of times when you get up here, I talk about your offense because you're such an efficient offensive team, and I think you guys play very solid offensively. But it felt like tonight the defense really set the tone outside of about a 4-minute stretch there where you didn't do a good job in transition defense. For the most part, your defense really held them in check.
Yeah, I thought our guys did a great job defensively. I mean, the first couple minutes we weren't good at all, and I was like, this could be a long game for us. And then, at the end of the half, they hit a couple threes to get them back into the game, and that's always a worrisome. But it was just a couple mistakes that we made. But really, I think what separated us tonight was our rebounding. I thought our guys did a great job rebounding offensively and defensively. They got one shot, one look, and they had to make it. And then we were able to get the boards, and we could go really long, we could go pretty big, and contest shots, and then go get boards, and then offensively, when we have some things rolling and we have some good movement, we're pretty tough to stop at times.
Coach, through 4 games, it seems like you just are wearing teams down by the time late in the third quarter comes, and what does the depth do for you guys when you're able to put guys in and have trust that they're gonna be able to execute the offense and the defense? I mean, because we have a bunch of guys that are all ready to play. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to where they've played a lot of basketball, and they have some varsity experience, which also obviously helps. But I have faith in everyone that's on our bench. Unfortunately for our 9, 10, or 10, 11, 12 guys, they don't get on the floor very much. But I have just as much confidence in them. We practice at a level that is very difficult, and they'll tell you that. And every time they come off the floor, they look gassed, but they're like, I'm not tired, and because they want to play. And we train for these situations. This is what we do. And so it would be hard for a team to wear us down, I feel like. And by the end of the games, from the ones that we've won anyway, and even the one that we lost, they were very tired too. We're able to wear them down, and that's been big for us. Coach, you're only 4 games into the season. You've got Kelly Walsh tomorrow. What are you looking for from the guys? What did you preach this week in practice that you'd like to see them execute again tomorrow when you go to take on the Trojans on the road?
Well, this week's really hard for us because it's a pretty short turnaround considering, we only had practice Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday's a little lighter, obviously. And then we got 2 totally different teams. We have Natrona, who's going to get in your face. They're going to play man-to-man. They're going to make everything difficult. And then from what we've seen from Kelly Walsh is they're going to sit in a 2-3 zone. And so you have to prepare for both of those things. And it's very difficult to do, but at the same time, that's why we throw a ton of stuff at these kids in the first 5 or 6 practices of the year is we got to learn how to beat a zone. We have to learn how to beat a 1-3-1. We have to learn how to beat a man. And it's obviously a lot for the kids at the time, but it gets us into those positions where hopefully we don't get too rattled by what we're going to see. And we saw some zone last week from Riverton, so that'll help us out.
Yeah, well, Coach, I think you guys are doing really well offensively. If there was one thing that you could do better, what would you be telling the boys? Is there one thing that sticks out to you?
Yeah, dribble less. We dribble too much in the half court. We got to dribble less, and I think we do for the most part do a good job of not forcing shots. Sometimes we do. We get a little antsy and we feel like we got to go and force some shots, but our getting offensive rebounds helps that too, and so when we take bad shots, sometimes we could make up for that. But we got to be better, more efficient offensively in terms of our first shot, and then just dribble less. I mean, that's our biggest thing we worked on all week. So
awesome. Well, Coach, we always appreciate your time. You're 3-1 on the season now. You go and take on Kelly Walsh tomorrow. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Jeff Martini, always kind enough to give us his time up here after every game, whether it's a win or a loss. It's been a lot of wins recently for the Bronx the last couple of years. But the Bronx moved to 3-1 on the season. They take on Kelly Walsh tomorrow. We'll be bringing you Lady Bronx and Bronx basketball tomorrow. We're set to go on the air somewhere around 5:20, 5:30 tomorrow, unless, like I say, the JV games run long or if they delay the tip a half hour due to winds or weather or something like that. But, yeah, scheduled to tip 5:30 for the girls' game. Sheridan girls, Sheridan boys are now 3-1 on the season. They take on the Trojans and Lady Trojans tomorrow. We appreciate you listening in and watching in. If you watch the live stream, you've been listening to another broadcast of Bronx Basketball on Sheridan Media Sports.
From the First Northern Bank Studio.